Oh yeah, it's time. Welcome. And with that, we finally return to the Auroraverse. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream today. My name is Sensei Suplex, and today we have the likes of Soulbound, Secrets in the Sands. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome and epic time, as it's the return of the Secrets in the Sands campaign, and we're getting ready to kick things off. It's been an awesome Sunday so far, and we're going to make it even more awesome. But apparently it is Super Bowl Sunday, so hey, if you are going to be watching the Super Bowl, hope that your team wins and all of that sort of craziness. Besides that, we do have a couple of announcements and more. First thing, I guess another announcement. First thing, check to see if you have any Twitch Prime subs and use it so you can avoid ads, because ads are obviously really, really annoying on Twitch. So, hey, be sure to check to see if you have it. Even consider supporting the channel if you really wish to, as it does help out myself as well as Project Aurora. Next thing is... hey, if you actually were trying to get into the West Marches thing, be sure to check your messages, as I sent about 40 or 60 so messages inviting new people to the campaign or just seeing. So if you haven't responded to that, then hey man, you only got like 2 days since I sent that message, and it's past 2 days, then still hit me up or whatever, respond. But the chances of you getting into the West Marches goes down by the minute. So go check that out. Be sure to get in and all that. Any other announcements? Oh, I think that we do have the first session for the West Marches today. Like one of the campaigns, I think on Continent 1 is getting ready to get started. But yeah, other than that, any other thing? Oh, yes, technical errors, issues. Yes, because this is our first stream or our second stream back, there's probably going to be some sort of technical issue or error. So just bear with us as we're getting into the swing of things and more. Just be patient. That's all I ask. And yeah, that's everything that I got on my end. And hey, without further ado, let's go do this. I see Matt's getting groovy. He's getting groovy.
Oh my God.
Yo. Oh man.
What is
We don't need to ask the correlation. My
It's
sister not coming to
tradition.
my dad's house.
Tell him he's muted.
Oh man.
Yeah, no one tell him. No one tell him.
Oh.
I forgot to open Twitch. I'm such a fucking moron. Holy shit.
Don't worry, they don't need to know. What they don't know doesn't hurt them.
Off to a great start.
Hey, no. We're always a professional individual. We do everything with the utmost precision and perfection.
I'm
Always.
glad we're lying today. I love lying.
You're goddamn right. It's secrets in the sands.
Okay.
Lie, cheat, steal.
Lying.
Oh man. But how's everybody doing today?
Oh, pretty good.
Mostly good.
Pretty good.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
okay. Hi.
Hello.
Oh man.
I'm
I
ready to
forget.
go.
Raven had like the serial killer like blink if you're okay sort of look just like.
So
Nah, I'm
many
messing with you.
new people. I'm so shy.
Oh man, you know how to say it's like riding a bike, y'all. It's like riding a bike. Oh wait, we said this last week, and then didn't someone break their goddamn leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that
Okay.
bike had spikes.
Oh.
Who broke their leg?
Yeah, who? What the fuck?
Bro,
Wait, I'm out of the loop. Somebody broke their leg?
That was you.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, you broke your leg trying to ride a bike again. That was a joke from Session 0.
Oh.
Oh
A
man.
joke. Anyway.
I think it also knocked your
Oh,
memory.
I get it. Y'all had a joke about me, and I wasn't
No.
involved.
No,
And this is your way of dropping it on me.
You
Y'all
literally
were
made
talking
the joke.
behind my back.
you.
I get it.
I'm gonna hurt him.
Well, I mean, you can. It's your
See,
game.
Now we're going upside down with the hearts because I'm hurt.
Oh my goodness gracious! All right,
That just
I'm-
makes it look like a diamond, but
I
whatever.
remember with this group, I just got to start the session as soon as possible, or it's just gonna keep going. It's
just
gonna keep-
go, yeah.
Yeah, just
right.
go.
Well, hold on a minute.
Well,
No.
hey, shut the fuck up, and I need you to do one thing: gather around the table,
Oh.
and let me tell you all a Voden fable. Gather around for the tale of these survivors and champions, for this, my friends, is the fable of a looming corruption, and that of the mysteries within. This is the infamous tale of secrets in the sands, and the legendary tale of the soul bound. Our tale, it began when our heroes awoke from their astral prisons, as they were thrust into the desert wastelands and forced to survive in what felt like a game of life and death. Together they ventured through the beautiful and horrific desert of the Forbidden Expanse, and after meeting many great allies and running into even greater enemies, the village of Vagi Valeria would be formed. Our heroes would begin to form together and work in unison under the name of the Kindred Spirits as they slowly built up their home, away from home while exploring their surroundings. As they grew in strength, however, not everyone agreed with their motives. They'd make enemies or seemingly of the past now present in the Kalani Council. Tensions were extreme as they resorted to capturing a bunch of their allies and holding them hostage. And now, their next adventure was thrust upon them. The individuals would have a meeting to discuss the terms of what the council sought from the spirits at the island of Bayani. And though it's a delicate matter, it would have to be carried with the most precision and care, as many lives were on the line. Our heroes, the Kindred Spirits though, they prepare themselves for the political battle of a lifetime as they handle their last bit of loose ends among the village, before calling in some allies for support in Queen Straftara. But regardless of what will happen, regardless of what fate has in store for them, this is their story of freedom from tyranny. This is a new chapter for Voden and the tale of secrets in the sands. With that, my friends, we'll begin exactly where we left off, or a little bit after where we left off, as we will head towards the village. Give me 2 seconds. And if you weren't aware, by the way, all the music is also in the in-game content chat. It's posted there. You can play it as you wish, adjust the volume however you see fit. All right, let's swap on over here. Let me move a lot of this stuff over, if you will. All right. Secrets in the Sun, Session 1, there we go. Ooh, pretty village. So,
So pretty.
as you all begin to head back and have your souls awaken one by one, eventually, we look over and we see as the kindred spirits are found preparing themselves for things to come. They're found across the entire village, either exchanging old threads for new threads, enhancing village security, or even returning from long-form journeys. Regardless, our story today, it begins with two individuals seeming to gather forth in one of each other's bedrooms and looking to figure out what the heck they're going to be wearing for this new journey as they've grown in strength. And now it is time to reflect that in appearance. We look over towards the Aarakocra monk, Krelin, along with the Oculi sorcerer, Zale, as they look into a couple of new wardrobe changes for the adventure ahead. We look over, and we can find them easily over here. If I can drag this over here. There we go.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know where
Don't
I
worry, it's a
was.
big old village, big old village. Gotta get used to everything.
Thank you.
But as we look over, I would say, yeah, either or, whichever one of you wants to start. What would you kind of be saying or doing as you're trying to figure out what the heck you're sort of going to wear right now?
Showcase you start, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now.
You know what? Me neither.
gonna-
But I'll start sitting down, meditating, breathing, and I'll look up at Zale and look at his outfit, look at mine, at his outfit. Slowly start to stand up. Zale, I need your help. I have had these since we started here, and a long time prior to that. It's useful, and I'll start doing some stretches. It's flexible. It helps me breathe in these hot sands, and also the water. It's not great with it, but it just needs to be better. And you look presentable. Can you help me?
Presentable.
Well, if I give you too many compliments, it'll distract you from making me look just as good.
No, you're
So-
right. Have you ever thought of not wearing bright orange?
I like the color, but I don't know what would fit me, as he looks at his all black feathers.
You know, I don't know why you came to me instead of the person who would be really into this, you know?
Well, as you begin to say this, you begin to hear a knock on the door.
Oh no. Did I speak their name into truth? What did I do? Oh no!
Well,
That's what you're thinking about. And I'll stand up and go to the door and put my ear to the door.
Oh no. You have ears?
The side of my head.
Birds have ears, yeah.
Birds have ears.
Yeah, I know!
They don't
Oh.
have big floopy things like the rest of us.
as you sort of do, you walk up to the kind of flying down from your little, I guess, elevated sort of position in your room. And as you do, you open the door, and at the door, you look over to see a familiar face and a familiar individual. But, oh, point of me role-playing them. Hey, Kat, you want to join in
Yeah.
chat for me?
Yo!
I indirectly spoke their character and now they're here to haunt us.
Yo.
Like a boogeyman. Hi, Cat.
Uh,
Cat.
Hello! Oh my god.
Cat.
Long time no see.
Holy
Hi.
shit.
Whoa.
As you see
uh,
the myth, the legend return to the Auroraverse. Oh, man. I'll fix the overlay in 1 second, but yeah. So, Oh wait, why are you injured? Oh no!
Yo.
What?
Good to see everybody.
Yay!
Good to have you back. So, I guess as this sort of happens, so Creelan just opened the door and immediately they're met with even brighter colors than what Zale was looking at. Zale, your eyes obviously hurt again. Unless Fabio does the one thing like last time. But regardless, Fabio, what do you sort of do or say when Creelan kind of opens the door?
Darlings, I am here to help you. I heard through the wind that you were looking to update your fashion.
Were
Well,
you spying on us?
No. Well, you know, I hear things on the wind.
You were spying on us.
Oh
Yes,
no.
no. I was
Yes.
referring to you, so I guess that must have been your cue. Okay.
It came to me in a dream.
Well,
Ah.
do not fear. I remember, Creelan, we spoke about this a little bit a while ago. But do tell me if you had anything in mind, or if you'd like to hear my ideas.
Well, you can start on judging my initial idea. I was thinking just all black, one solid fabric with no lines or designs.
This entire black leotard.
You can see Fabio is trying to find the words to still be polite with his friend, and well, darling, that would be a choice.
You look
Um,
naked.
Yes, that's correct, and you know you can show more personality in proper tailoring and form, if you may.
So the same thing with one pocket, or should I just listen here?
I think you should listen.
I would encourage you to keep an open mind, if we can say that.
I guess let's start with the color. I heard black is apparently no good. Bright orange is no good.
Not exactly. It depends in which context. And I was thinking, I do like the idea of black because I think it would suit you quite well. But of course, I wouldn't go with flat black. I mean, we could add, you know, a little bit of embroidery into the design and something gaudy or godish because I know that's not your aesthetic. You have more of a midnight, shadowy force of nature vibe to you. I was thinking, yes, a more adult look than your current aesthetic. I know you like orange, but how about going to gold? Gold is definitely the better alternative to orange. Sparkle and shine. And I was thinking perhaps like a corset vest that would really accentuate your wonderful posture, and also it would of course leave your wings free for combat and protecting your vitals, because I do believe in function and fashion, because well, you can hide a few little secrets in proper fashion. Like, well, for example, if you look at mine, and he's gonna like knock on the like doublet, well, like the corset vest that he has, and it sounds way harder than it should, because that's his armor. He that's why he doesn't like fall all the time, because well, he's got his outfit is actually armored, but it doesn't show. So see, you could protect yourself, and you would look completely harmless. Well, as much as you can appear harmless, darling.
This is good. You'll see Creelan reach back, take out a couple pieces of paper, and as best he can start drawing that. He's good at writing, but his drawing skills are questionable. So I'll start drawing that out and presenting it to Fabio after a minute or two.
Awesome. And Fabio's gonna look over your shoulder and, oh yes, maybe a little cinching here, and oh yes, in the collar, a straight standing collar, and then you can hide some things in your collar, like, for example, little notes or extra blades or whatnot. Oh, have you thought of your talents? I would have to ask, dear Lady Ambrosi, but another little trick that she gave me is these claws. Of course, they look fabulous, right? And you can see
Absolutely.
his beautiful lacquered purplish fuchsia claws with all the little jewels. He's like, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, darling. These are absolutely gorgeous, but you see these little jewels? They're special and a little spicy if they enter a scratch, if you know what I mean. I could probably ask her if you want something like this.
Additional weapons. I like this. Please ask.
Definitely.
So a collar, crochet, and as you start describing things, drawing it a bit more, and I'll look over to Zale. This is cool looking and good looking, right? And I'll turn it over and show him.
I'd like to think so. It wouldn't work me well, but it would work you well. Have you thought of setting your beak on fire? I think that'd look really cool.
Oh, that would be quite impressive.
You know what? After we try on the new outfit, you can set me on fire.
Delightful.
I'll think about that.
This is good. I feel better already.
Excellent. Always glad to help you, my dear. And we can even add maybe a jacket, so that if you would need to be in a more secret environment, or if it gets chilly, you know, these nights they get chilly, it would cover you, and you would it looks so elegant, darling.
I've never been called elegant.
Well, there's
And
a
then you're
first for everything.
Jacket. I guess a whole outfit. Yes. And then I'll just stand up straight and fold the paper in half, and then look at it different angles and try to see myself with the new outfit on, just from the picture.
I'll do you one better. As you finish off the sketch, Fabio is like, oh yes, quite. And here, let me give you a look. And he's gonna twirl and cast Disguise Self, and turn himself into a. So he's 7'6". He can turn. He's gonna turn into a 6'6" version of Krillin.
Oh man.
Oh,
It's still a foot and a half taller.
Hold on, wait. I got this. I got this production value. Wait a minute.
Oh man.
I think I can do this, right?
a tall Krillin sounds really disturbing.
Hold. Bam. I'm happy with myself.
So he turns into a 6-foot-tall Krillin with the
Holy
gold
shit.
brocade corset vest and like the jacket, and you can see that it's Krillin, but it's Krillin how Fabio sees him. So he's got like much wider shoulders. His feathers are like an iridescent black, like with shades of like bluish and teal, and his chest is even bigger, and he's holding himself really regally and strongly with like a high neck. He looks really fucking good. And yeah.
It looks
What do you
really
think?
fucking good, but the tall Krillin disturbs me in ways I cannot imagine.
Hello there, my darlings. How are you? Fine evening.
What's the Krillin and Fabio voice? Oh, can I do that?
I need to see this.
Oh fuck, this is gonna be hard. Okay, let's see.
I believe in you.
Layers.
I am holding myself very regally. I like this outfit.
He says, staring right at the viewer.
And speaking like I just learned common. There.
God.
Yeah, you're only realizing my disturbing thoughts. But the outfit looks good. Looks good. Krillin, don't
Okay.
get tall. Please don't get tall. Please, no.
You really should.
No.
That looks feasible to weave. It doesn't look too complicated from my bit of teachings. I think I can make that.
Yes, and I can help you, darling. I've made some friends with some silkworms around the area. They'll surely want to help you, darling.
Okay. Just one question before we finalize it. It can carry my weapons without problem. I have this spear and this trident, and I'm thinking of a quarterstaff and maybe an additional one. After that, I'll be fine.
Guess we need probably. We could probably add a kind of harness on your back underneath the jacket, and you could slide all your weapons in it, and it could be covered by the jacket, so people wouldn't even realize what you're carrying.
Perfect. I will look perfect.
Yeah. You gotta change that now.
Yes, and
I
oh, go ahead.
This is good. I'm happy. Thank you both for your assistance, and wonder what else we can do in the future if we just start whispering in the wind.
Who knows?
Ah.
And
Yeah.
darling Zale, did you say you were thinking of upgrading your wardrobe as well? Or
I think I'm good. I'm here to help him, you know? I don't need to look down at myself and be in pain. No offense to you, of course. You're trying to stream straight, but you know, the eye.
Also questioned, are you still like in Fabio? Like, are you still like as Krillin right now as you're having this conversation?
Once I turn to Zale, I'll turn back to Fabio and be like,
Gotcha.
darling, of course. And
Okay.
Mute myself a little bit.
Easy peasy.
Oh, good. It's not infrared now.
Right, I forget, darling.
It's okay. I can get used to it someday, but not today.
Very well. But you've always had a wonderful sense of style, darling, so I'm not worried about you. I'm looking forward to your next fashion creation.
As do I.
I guess it's time for the last kata in this, and then I will head outside to perform a kata on the roof with my current outfit.
You got it. At this point, as Krillin, you begin to sort of soar off, exiting and such, you look over and you can kind of see all of the village and basically all its inhabitants and more, and it definitely is something to be proud of. Being able to remember exactly what it sort of started off as. It's just two small buildings, really, that's it. And now it's sort of turned into multiple buildings, multiple bits of housing, dozens of other individuals now joining, an arena to go along with it, workshops and more. And you take all the sights in for a moment, feel at peace for a little bit, but eventually that peace does subside a little bit as begin to do your training, and you realize what it's for and what tournament is along the horizon. With that, Krillin, as you're getting ready to do that, Zale and Fabio, is there anything else that you would, you two would do, or is that all?
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, just generally chat about gossip around town, I guess. And
Gossip? What the fuck?
No, oh my
So-
gosh, no gossip about Zale getting advice for Phoebe? Fuck.
Oh my god,
You
did
know-
you see what Fate and
Kidding.
Fortune
I'm
did last
kidding.
night? Like, what the fuck?
Fabio. There's this new person at the village. I think you'd love them. They're kind of like you, except a human.
oh, I would love to meet them. Yes, I've been running around a little bit in the dunes in the past
In
few
the
days.
wind.
Yes, but I would love. Please, darling, introduce me. You must introduce me.
Yeah, I'll send them your way. Or I'll send you their way. I'm sure they would love to see you with your wins.
Salute.
Easy enough. So, that being said, as you sort of, or say this for a bit, you'll see as you'll look over and you'll kind of notice as, because unless I'm completely wrong, I could be absolutely stupid and wrong. Did you guys ever I know Farmer had like a clock of the sorts in like their chassis, but did you ever sort of like make, let's say, a clock tower or something like that to sort of keep track of like time and minutes passing, or no? Not for this group.
Definitely.
Me going out.
All right, cool. that's all good. That's all good. But just curious on that. But regardless, Zale, you'd be able to understand that time is of the essence, and you do have a couple of things to sort of handle before you head out to Straftar at the end of the day. So that's it. Or you say your goodbyes.
Bye. I gotta go do things.
And I'll give him the 2 kisses, goodbye, and
Easy enough.
skip away.
As you sort of do, Zale, you kind of leave, and Fabio, you sort of go off to do your own things, and immediately, speaking of the devil, you look over and you
How
see
the
this.
fuck?
You see as this human who is dressed in extravagant bits of clothing. It's not, I wouldn't say as bright, but it's definitely as refined as it kind of can be, considering they're sort of working with a bit of makeshift threads. They have multiple sort of bits of jewelry and more, and they definitely have a couple of cyberkinetic enhancements. But it's more so, you wouldn't be able to really tell unless you really, truly sort of like eyeball it exactly. They look over and they're like, oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I have not seen this individual at all yet, but I am so glad I have. Hello, please, what is your name? I am Kazim. Hello, please. They just kind of, oh, hi Zale. How's it going? What is your name?
Kiss mine. I give my hand. And oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Fabio Foxglove, Frederick Vin Flamel, of course.
Fabio Foxglove. They just cut off half the other part. It is a pleasure to meet you. And at that point, that is all happening off to the side, and they're doing that powwow for who knows how long. Zale, you're free to go in more.
I gotta run.
Easy enough.
I gotta get out of here.
So with that, thank you, Kat, for being able to join in for the cameo. It's just
Thank
Fabio.
you, Kat.
Love you all.
Bye.
Appreciate
Okay,
you.
bye.
Oh man. All right, let me get that set, or get a couple things set up. Bam. Cool. I think it's set. All right.
I will now look perfect. This is good.
All right, so Zale, you'd probably be sort of not necessarily sure exactly where you'd be heading, but you'd definitely be able to find and spot Phoebe on your way to which destination that you kind of need to go. I don't know if Phoebe's doing anything specific,
Run.
but all right, fair enough. Copy.
I was like, nope.
I guess guess if there's anything, what would you kind of be found doing, Phoebe, just off to the side, just in front of the housing, and more, if anything?
Probably coming out of the meeting room and the big building in front of me. Just been looking around at architecture and stuff.
Easy, as you kind of see her examining the bits of architecture and the sort of landscape as well. Zale, you did know that you have some, or you do remember that you did have something to do with them, so it's up to you if you want to do it now or later.
Phoebe.
Yeah?
It's time to do a thing. Remember a thing? Really cool.
No. What thing?
The scrying.
Oh, now?
Did you not want to do it now?
I mean, I can do it now, but
Do
you know.
want to though?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go.
Easiest,
Great.
easiest convincing of his life.
I didn't even roll for that.
They're just like, you see as Fabio and Kazim, they're just talking, they don't even acknowledge you, they're just going. Going. But eventually, as you both begin to head over towards Phoebe's room with the scrying sphere, you still have the scrying sphere, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So, as you sort of do, I guess, tell me exactly what this process is of you trying to scry, and who are you exactly trying to scry on?
Before we do this, I need to bring someone else who knows more about this individual than me, and thankfully, thanks to Sirius, I can do that now. So,
Okay.
you need to give me a minute.
Are
As
you
he
going
will,
into your head?
No, I'm bringing that head to me. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You'll see. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Give me a minute, as I will be using this now.
Oh yeah, you can't do. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh man, I've been waiting for this for a while. All right, so I guess what does it look like as you try to summon him forth with infernal calling?
Okay. I've never done this before, so this might be a little messy, but he will hold out the ruby, the very expensive ruby, and just kind of place it on the ground.
Wait, not in my room. Do it either in your own room or in Navro's room.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I could use like the infernal wood. Yeah, you can do it in there.
I'll do it in my room. I don't have explicit permission.
You have out of character permission.
Oh man! All right, so you go into your room and you're placing the gem or ruby down.
He'll start to billow up flames from his own hands. It's like, okay, I don't know any specific chant to summon you, but come please, smile.
Did you
Can
really?
you please?
Did you really like have to add the smile part at the end? Like, is that really necessary?
You want a blood sacrifice? What do you want from me? Do you want to come or not?
I mean, I'm not really into blood sacrifice. That's probably like Wrath's sort of thing. But I mean, what? Do you have something to sacrifice to me? I don't know.
No.
No. That sucks. And immediately he just begins to erupt into infernal flames as a circle begins to almost build up in front or on the floor where the ruby is. The ruby is completely almost disintegrated into dust for a moment before flying alongside, just being scattered around the room, but eventually burning a hole literally through your floor and crawling and pulling themselves out. You see as the 7th Sin of Pride, Ezrin, begins to slowly form in PNG format because for some reason his token isn't run. Right, so I got you.
Did you have to destroy the ruby?
No, but, you know, I mean, why not?
It's fucking expensive. Don't do that. Holy shit.
Well, hey, I mean, you're summoning the Sin of fucking Pride. What do you want me to do? Come in for cheap?
And you're in my head, so...
Yeah, fair.
Let's...
All right.
Come on.
You'll see. Well, I'm getting their token in the meantime, but you can sort of imagine them being there if necessary. So, as you sort of escort them over off to the side through this sort of hallway and more, we'll look over and say, this place is different. Nice place.
Yeah, we did some renovations.
Where's my room?
You want a room?
Oh yeah, I had a room last time, right?
I'll look on that. Why don't you come in? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just sort of walk on in, see Phoebe, what's up? And he's gonna, oh god, I fucking hate this character. He's just gonna literally make he's gonna make himself like at home and comfortable, just literally no permission, just sits on the bed. And
Get
just,
off my fucking bed.
I mean, god damn, you have to deal with this all the time. He sort of whispers to Sale. Alright, fine, I'm getting up.
Wow.
Sheesh. How you treat your guests around here, god damn. Alright. What's up?
We're finding your dragon thing familiar.
Oh, crap. I didn't think you guys would be doing that so soon. Sure. Wait, so why am I here? Isn't, like...
You're more familiar to them than I am. You need to describe them to her.
Oh, I see. They'll look over kind of towards the setup, and as they kind of realize that, hey, that's a scrying orb and more, they'll kind of start flipping through their own little wizard book and seeing, I see. Okay, here. Tell you what, I'll sort of starts flipping through his book. For a token of my appreciation and gratitude and all that shit, here, pick a spell from book, take it. He's pointing more so towards Phoebe.
I would hope towards Phoebe. I don't have a book.
Navros knows like a bloodhound just moves over. I should smell.
Is that why
Hey
you're
Zale, hey
right
Zale, look
now?
at your DMs. Hey Zale, look at your
Double
DMs.
Fine.
There's your answer. Go nuts.
Easy
He's
enough.
here for an hour. I'm sure we'll
Good.
have plenty of time.
Epic.
Look at
Send me
that
fucking Ezrin's spell list. I'm getting everything.
stuff. Alright.
In the past week, I have eaten well more better than I ever have.
So I would say, I guess, well, whenever you're ready, then I guess I can start describing him a little bit.
Go ahead. I'm in my mind palace.
Sure. He starts sort of walking around the room, thinking about sitting down, realize that's a terrible idea, stands up. So Sid, he is a, I actually always butcher this. Hold on, I believe it is this, correct? I gotta make sure I get the type because it's specific to their name. Bam. If it's not, then it's the other one. The whole thing with Sid is he is well, now at this point he's a young dragon, no longer a wormling. Specifically a copper dragon and such. He has a couple of scars, specifically towards the legs of his neck, arm, legs, and his tail is nearly lopped off. He typically is more so, and again, if I get this wrong, it's fine. Typically sort of likes to have a bit of an acidic touch, hence the name. So you can probably smell the bits of caustic fumes and more all around him. Anything else? He does have like a sort of, a kind of band around him, like around his, sort of neck, more sort of just so everybody knows that he's from a Tolan and all that stuff. It's a flying dragon city. Don't worry about it. It's irrelevant. Yeah, you need anything else or?
Do you have anything of his?
I think I might. Yeah. You'll see as he sort of takes or begins to start fiddling with a little bit of his things. He doesn't really have like a bag or anything, but he does have the likes of a small little scale from Sid. He pulls this out and says, this got sort of lobbed off when we were in battle. I tried to sort of see if I could get, I don't know, Uabami or Bahamut or somebody to sort of help out with getting this thing refixed, but got separated, couldn't really do it.
Okay. Well, it should still help. Yeah, I'll go ahead. Do it now. I'm gonna have a look-see. Everyone be quiet while I do this. And I am going to start scrying in my orb.
Phoebe like,
Do not
Phoebe,
have
like-
the feature, but okay.
Phoebe like, shut up, guys, and there's nobody speaking. Stop talking. Let me speak.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, it has to. Alright. As you're sort of like going into your mind palace, this is the last thing before I describe what you see. You'll see as Ezra's just gonna be like kind of just shove into Zale. Hey,
What?
how's Prank Wars doing? How's Prank Wars going?
It's going good. You didn't see what I did to you last time?
Wait, what?
I wrote on your back. It said no maidens, because you have none. Because you're in my head, stupid.
I'll fucking kill you. Anyways,
You told me to do it.
wait, he just sort of looks over. Do you have a mirror or whatever the hell? Anyways, besides the point. Look, she's distracted right now, so now's like the perfect time for a prank.
Yeah.
I'm having Nuna on guard.
You kind of just look over and you see Nuna just like eyeing both of them as they're sort of whispering between each other. The only problem is that snake thing is looking at us.
That's a familiar.
Should we be worried?
Yes. She's very do you speak Primordial?
No, why would I speak Primordial?
I don't know.
Wow, Rudy ever walking.
I don't know. Figure something out while she's doing that.
What?
I mean, here, I'll distract him. Hey, how's it going? Oh, shit. Immediately, Phoebe, you just sort of lose the trance for a second. And you're like, God damn it. But you're able, if you say anything, go ahead. But if not, you can continue with scribing or scrying.
Is there like really like?
Oh, my bad. Sorry, learning the rules won't happen again. Yeah. Meanwhile, and more relevant things. So, Phoebe, as you begin to scry and peer using the orb, eventually you begin to pierce through the veil of whatever is sort of blocking your sight and your vision from getting ready to witness the likes of this dragon. First things first, I need to make a saving throw for them. All right, they have a minus to it, I believe. Let me go grab their sheet. It's all good. Give me 2 seconds, if you will. There we go. This is a wisdom save. They have a minus 10 to this roll.
What?
Jesus Christ!
No.
This is not the week of scrying. First, Vitalia
Nuh-uh.
got scryed, nat 20. And then Sid's getting scryed on nat 20. Using DM's inspiration.
Yeah, what else am I gonna use it?
Alright, fair enough.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
So,
What
at
happened to
this
minus
point,
10?
yeah, I mean, this is nat 20, it's the auto succeed sort of thing. That's what I sort of do with all saving throws and stuff. So,
No.
Zale, how you kind of look over and you see Phoebe struggling a bit. Ezra's telling you to like to sort of go prank her or whatever. But what do you do to help Phoebe out in this moment to try to help her focus?
Ah, shit. Phoebe, I believe in you, and you are so great, you know? You are so better at scrying than anyone else I know.
Shut up and massage my neck.
What?
Shut up and give me a back rub now.
I don't think this has to do with the process.
Yes, it does. Please. I'm
You're
losing him.
causing her
He's
stress.
fading. He's going.
Can I make an insight check?
Make her a disadvantage. you don't know about this scrying shit. She could be telling the truth.
Damn, she could be telling the truth.
13, Phoebe, make a deception check. Let's see what happens. Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Hey, man, it's essential, bro. It's essential.
You don't know fucking like a
His
cult
bro
shit
is
like
part of the
this.
somatic components. Like, you gotta help.
It's a group effort. Are you not willing to cooperate? Take one for the team.
I'm going to do it. Calm down.
Do it.
Oh, man. All right. So as this sort of happens,
Also, while
Yeah.
he's doing it, he is going to do a little funny haha while she's concentrating with her back massage, as he will do minor illusion,
all
and
right.
he will make it so it looks like Phoebe tracked mud all over her room from her sandals.
Ruh-roh. All right, let's see what happens. Wisdom saving throw.
What?
All right, Santa. Wait, hang on.
Fucking ridiculous.
You could use an eye Zale. Worked for me.
That's cool.
That's
Can
funny.
I? No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
That's
It's an oculi eye. Higher value, you know?
No.
Sammy's losing their shit. I'll tell you that much.
It's not happening, guys.
DB. DB.
No.
Is it working?
No.
Why not?
No.
As you are kind of getting or trying to scry on the individual, you see as it doesn't seem to be as if like they're responding to you right now. It's more so as if it's a set sort of measure of safety precautions and more as you're trying to scry on Sid. You hear another individual and you hear them speak. It's in a raspy tone, but they begin to speak and say, "Not so fast."
Do we hear this?
Not you, but only Phoebe.
DB, call them a bitch.
I'd recommend that you cease your investigation before it begins to sort of fade.
DB, what happened?
How bad do you want this dragon back?
Well, I mean, like pretty bad. I mean, he's pretty cool and badass, you know. I mean, hey, like you guys are trying to do this whole sort of save the world thing, right? I mean, like how badass would it be to be able to like, you know, fly in on a dragon?
It
Like,
would
I think that'd be pretty
really
cool, right?
Yeah, it would be really cool.
No,
Right.
did before with the whole world tree thing. Pretty cool.
You did what?
Well, not world tree, but more so like the big tower thingy. My bad. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
Why not?
I just gave up.
Wait, what do you mean?
What? No, why?
I tried, it didn't work. I
Why
really,
didn't it
really, really tried, it didn't work.
Did you? Can
Alright.
you...
Can't you just try again or something? Like,
Not right, no, I can't just try again. It will
Why not?
take some time. Because something's blocking me. I can't obviously just try again while it's actively trying to block me out.
But what if it didn't expect it?
Well, obviously, it's expecting it now, isn't it? I
But
just
no,
did
no,
it, Hale.
it already blocked you out. It's not going to expect a second time now.
I'm not... Listen, I need a moment. This is not how it works.
Well,
This
explain
is not
to
how
me.
it works.
Explain
It's
to me.
not how it works.
I want to know how it works. I want to know how.
Just... The point is, just come back. We'll do it again later.
Okay.
will I even have that much time? All right, here. What if I like,
You
you
have
know?
an hour.
What if I like phone into, I don't know, make a couple phone calls or whatever, I don't know, do what I got to do, and like I can speed up the process of me getting bamfed out of here, and then I don't know, will that help you out?
To whom?
Send stuff. Don't worry about it.
What does that mean?
I just said don't worry about it.
I won't worry about it. I mean,
I
if
should
you
worry
can
about
help,
it.
If you can help me out, I am sure you know what you're talking about, unlike Bill. But
What? Yeah.
if you think it would
Yeah.
help, I'll have you do what you need to do.
All right, I'll see what I can do. We'll try to like.
Before, I want you to meet someone very important. I'm sure they'd love to have a very long, extensive talk with you.
Wait, what?
Why don't you just come with me? We'll leave her to her things, and I'll bring you to them. Come on, come on.
But my dragon. But, did I like? Here, just any. No, that's a terrible idea. He'd never do that. I was gonna say he would leave this book and just be like, "Hey, follow this page," but yeah, he wouldn't do that. I'll be back in a second. All right, and yeah, they're gonna get dragged over. All right. So here's what I was trying to do. I was trying to originally do like after this whole thing, Phoebe and Misery, sort of going with that, if that's cool. So is it possible we could have like after that whole thing, like Misery gets all their stuff done, then we have that conversation with Ezrin and Navra? Is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
All right, dope. So here's what we'll do for this. I'll say this. Ezrin will look over towards you, Zale, and say, okay, here. Just give me like 5 minutes, and I'll try not to sort of offer too much of the time or whatever. I'll get like 10 minutes tops. Whoever wants to sort of talk to me, whatever, you can go grab them, tell them to come over here, and all that's cool stuff. But Zale, I really do want Sid back. I kind of miss him, buddy.
Yeah. Also, look at the carpet when you go back in there. Okay, bye.
Wait, what? What's that?
You're prank wars.
All right. So Zale, you go to get Navro and they'd probably be in the arena. As Sirius and them have been sort of training for Dunamancy, but you can just go grab Navro, bring him over here, and we'll go back to that in a bit.
Yep.
In the meantime, so Ezra and Phoebe. So you'll see as Ezra is going to sort of look over, and as they begin to actually pull out a crystal of the sorts. Now, out of game, you guys wouldn't know this, but unless you want to ask it, this is a Chardelin crystal, specifically infused with demonic or more so fiendish bits of energy. It's the equivalent of a mana crystal, but more so from the hells, rather.
Wow, what kind of crystal is that?
Fair enough. He explains that. All right. So Ezra will look over and say, this should be a little bit useful and such, but you probably don't want to use this unless you want to probably, let's just say, lose it, or like lose your sanity and such. It's not the greatest of things for like, well, I mean, it can be, it just depends on how you look at it, but yeah, you probably don't want to mess with this.
But you're asking me to use it, or are you gonna use it?
No,
yourself?
I'm using it to help you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. All right. You'll see as he's going to, not granted, he doesn't know anything, constructs of mana crystals. Gonna shatter the mana crystal, and as he sort of does so, you'll see as bits of infernal magic and more will begin to start building up amongst his arm, his or over towards his neck. His tattoo will begin to start glowing red hot for a moment, eyes searing for a moment or for a second, and say, "All right, let's see if this works." And he's gonna place a hand onto your shoulder and help you out. That he's going to give this creature disadvantage, and if they roll 2 nat 20s, hey man, it wasn't meant to be. It really wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
If they roll 4 nat 20s in a row, like, hey man,
can you make sure your
out.
bot, you don't have like a bot rolling nat 20s, sir?
I don't know, man. Hold on 1 second.
Just fudge the dice, bro.
You're not doing /roll 20 as opposed to /roll d20, are you?
I would hope not. I would hope not. All right, here we go. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Fuck you. Come here. Wisdom saving throw. Bam. All right, minus 10. Get fucked. Jesus Christ. All right, with
this
that.
dragon is so worth it, though.
As you begin to peer into the veil for a moment, eventually you see as an individual begins to almost block your sight for a second. And as they do, you look over for a moment and seem to be a mage of the sorts, just looking around at a small, dark, cold prison cell. You notice as through their bit of sight, or at least around in that area, the walls are sort of lined with soot and the air is heavy. The smell of almost, or a vibe of just despair and fear. look over and notice as they glance towards this massive creature sort of sequestered away in the corner. The scrying orbs peer through the bars, and you notice a young copper dragon, exactly how Ezrin described. No more than about a few dozen years old. Its eyes dull and weary, scales dull and worn as well. Look over, and this is what you see, my friend. Oh boy.
Oh, Bolvy!
Oh no, Krillin, look away! Don't look so case!
Traitor.
Treachery.
You look over and you kind of notice as this deathly looking individual looks on about them. Fine. You all should be at least able to wit or watch over them while we're gone. Besides, I need to take care of a couple of things and inform the others. Alright, I'll go looking for Yazid. I'll be back in about an hour. Make sure they're all prepared. With that,
Such a nice smile.
I'll see you as they'll begin to walk forth, and you'll notice with each sort of step there, this strange staff that they have, it begins to glow with that red crystal specifically. Well, you look over, and this is the scene that you sort of scry upon, Phoebe. What are you sort of or trying to focus in on right now? Is it sort of anything that you could hear? Is it anything that you can see, smell? Like, what are you looking for right now?
There's a little window. I want to mainly look around, see if I can spot anything that is, like, you know, unique in a way.
All right, make a perception check for me.
I can do that.
Roll really high.
Wow! No, you can't. No, you can't.
All good. So, Phoebe, what you with this too is hard to basically see outside of wherever the heck these guys are located. It's at this point that you realize that they're definitely. This is a more so. How you say? Make an Arcana check. How about that? Make an Arcana check. Something is blocking more so. It's not even necessarily you not being able to see it through to the your own bit of physical sight. Something is getting in the way, or almost making an illusion or image of whatever the prisoners are supposed to see, rather. So you looking outside, it more so just looks as if, oh, it's bright and sunny and all of the wonderful happiness outside, when you're able to sort of see through that illusion and notice that it's not. Now, what is actually behind it, you're not sure. Regardless, the other thing that sort of throws you off with the two is more so what you hear. You hear someone or something muttering just, sorry, I'm sorry, sorry, just over and over and over and over again. Voice seems familiar. Sounds like Bovie.
Poor monkey.
Anything else you'd try to see while the scry only has a limited amount of time left?
Guards. Taking
Guards.
a good look.
Glad you looked at these. So the guards are important for you specifically. You look at them, and though their tokens don't necessarily reflect it, it's fine. They would have the same thing, which will be relevant later. You notice as their helmets are completely sealed, you don't really see a face with it, but you do notice something familiar. They have almost these small sort of either containers, it could be gourds or whatever you sort of wish to sort of imagine, but it's a container alongside all of them containing some substance or whatever. And these are massive or massively sized. You notice onto, well, their side, they also have scimitars as well. Also, lastly, a little bit of a ripped cape with a banner of a snake. A desert-like snake. You notice and remember these are Sarasti's warriors. These individuals, almost a brief flash of remembrance. You look over at it and you remember these are your soldiers of the past. You notice as the bits of design, exactly almost what you sort of asked for, be able to conceal their sort of visage, but still remain powerful for these elite guards. It seems to be that the Kalani Council now has more so taken them against your own will, and now they work for them. No one else to serve. Regardless, you notice as they sort of move with their hands, and you notice as they manipulate the sand around them, but more so out of boredom rather than anything. Eventually, they sort of slam towards the cell where Bovie's about, saying, "Quiet! Enough of your muttering fool! All wishing for some goddamn peace and quiet. Not the fucking monkey rambling about." What else do you look for? This is the last thing that you can try to see.
I will look at Sid, his condition.
Oh, baby.
Man, it's fucked up. They give you the basics of it. He is, though Esbrin sort of mentioned the scars and wear and tear on Sid anyways, just from their battles, it's more so these wounds are definitely more fresh. This is from what you can probably tell of trying to restrain an actual dragon. Now, one thing that you do need to note, Phoebe and just everybody in Voden, you've never really seen a dragon before. If you're an inhabitant, doesn't matter. Unless you're from like Tahiri or something, you've never would have seen or even really been able to conceive of a dragon. It's the equivalent of almost a god to you. But you see the majestic beast regardless, and it is a sight to behold, almost a humbling experience to see such a creature reduced to this state by, well, man. Anything of note? Nothing of... You'd probably see as there's like an arcane sigil on them, and it's more so similar to what, let's say, the council used when it came to dealing with the likes of Ingot or the Descent, or just all of your villagers and more. You would see that on Sid.
Okay.
As this is said, eventually you're taken out from the sort of vision and more, and you return back. And you notice as Ezrin looks a little bit weary, but regardless, he is still here and able to continue on. All right, do you see anything?
Yes. It's hard to explain, but I know where he is, but I don't know exactly where he is. It's conveniently somewhere where we were heading ourselves.
Is he alive, though?
He's alive. He's not doing very great.
Fuck. Alright. Well, at least he's alive. And you can kind of just, like, relay all the information that you sort of seen
Yep,
to him.
I will.
Yeah. Alright, well... Shit. I appreciate you for at least, doing it. Don't really say thanks too much, but, well, thanks. Yes.
You're welcome.
Alright, here, I'm gonna go see whatever, or whoever Zale want me to talk to for a bit. You do your thing, yeah. Oh, also, Zale told me to look, or for you to look down, and then just closes the door and walks away.
I look at the floor.
You see a bunch of muddy footprints from your sandals.
I just kind of grimace, and I cast prestidigitation on it.
As you try to well, hold on, make an Arcana check. Let's see if you see through the illusion. What's your DC, Zale? 17?
I believe so. I'll look real quick. Yeah, 17.
All right, you try to clean it with prestidigitation. It's just not coming out, man. It's just not going away.
Oh no, permanent stains.
I'll look at my sandals, like, what the fuck?
You walking in my shoes? Did you steal my shoes, my heels? What the fuck?
Oh, man. Yeah, they're just not coming out. Well, Nuna's looking over like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you know what? It's fine. You can go, whenever you need to go to the bathroom, do it in Zale's room now.
What? Oh, okay. And with that, Nuna's
Is
gonna
the implication that like Ezrin shit on the floor and now Nuna is allowed to shit on the floor from now on?
Wait, Nuna poops?
You go to the bathroom?
I hope not, but we'll see, I guess.
I imagine.
Alright.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, we have to roleplay on it every time.
No. Alright. So, Phoebes, only thing that you got left to do is pretty much help Misery out with their thing. Is that where you kind of headed to, or? Nah.
Yeah, I was gonna go talk to Misery anyway.
Okay, sweet. We'll handle all that stuff, and then we'll head over towards, probably, I would imagine, Zale, Navro, and Ezrin. Sound good?
She doesn't know.
Alright. So, Phoebe, as you kind of begin to start heading out and trying to see exactly where Misery might be, Misery, what would you be found doing over here? What are you kind of like trying to prepare on your own, or if anything?
For my own preparation, out of character. Well, Misery would be working on finishing up the shrine to the Raven Queen, and essentially what that would consist of is like a tree or a post. It could be a dead tree, it could be something that is just kind of a wooden construction that is able to carry multiple trinkets, baubles, things like feathers, kind of almost think like a gothic Christmas tree in a sense. The whole idea is that, you know, ravens have a behavior where they like to collect items, and they like to kind of, you know, keep this collection. So the theme with the shrine to the Raven Queen is, you can imagine, yeah, like a dead tree just filled with ornaments, filled with just little bits and pieces of things. They could have relevance, they could represent a tiny memory, they could represent, you know, they could represent pretty much anything. And so you're going to, ideally it would be like a dead tree that is just absolutely filled with these things, and then has the brand of the Raven Queen kind of into the bark of the tree. And Misery is working with her 3 Raven retainers, Poe, King, and Shelley, as each of them are sort of bringing little baubles up to the top part of the tree, and she's kind of working on the bottom part. And it looks like she is a long way from actually finishing this thing. Upon Phoebe approaching, she is going to turn and sort of, you know, acknowledge Phoebe with a nod, and then look back towards the tree, and is going to pretty much say, such a short time, and yet there's such a large collection.
Collection. You mean what you're putting on the tree? You've been collecting little trinkets?
She stands back and kind of stands beside you and kind of looks up at it as each of the retainers are kind of putting stuff up there. And she's actually going to explain in character. It's behavior and characteristic of ravens to take little things, ribbons, jewelry, feathers, shiny stones, and collect these things. And so the Raven Queen is an individual entity that does similar collecting. In her hall of memories, it is the memories of those that have passed. But while I'm not a collector of, well, I guess everyone is a collector of memories, these little things remind me of something. And so I've begun creating this shrine to, and she kind of trails off a little bit and then says, to remember my brother. You, I don't know if you have any time, but do you have maybe some minutes to spare or some time to help me complete this? There's so much that I need to add.
Oh, decorate a tree? Yeah, I can do that. I'm very good at that.
And she is going to look over at you, and she's going to have kind of a rare, authentic smile. You don't usually see that from Misery. And so, kind of as, you know, Misery's going to continue to start putting stuff up, and she is going to ask. So I looked over, I noticed that one of the other devils showed up again.
Oh, yeah. Well, he won't be here for very long. So if you wanted to speak to him or anything, I'd say do it now. But you seem very busy with the three, and it seems like you're spending your time better doing this. And I'm gonna start picking up some things, and I'm gonna help Misery. I've been wanting to speak to you, actually. It's funny I catch you doing this. I'm not completely sure about the others, but it seems we have something in common. Something similar to what we're doing right now. We both have a certain love for our gods, I suppose.
Her eyes are gonna shift a little bit. And I guess you would maybe get the sense that she's not, you know, even for as long as she has been with the group, she is not used to other people relating to her. But you're kind of getting a sense of a little bit of, not a visual blush, but sort of like, you know, how so?
Well, I may not show it in the same ways that you do. I don't talk about her a lot. I don't collect little trinkets. but she is in a lot of things that I do. She presents herself in a lot of time, just ways that I show magic, do magic. It's different, but still the same in a way. And I can appreciate the way others do it. I actually think this is a very interesting and lovely way of showing love for your gods and the ones you love. I respect it.
I guess I never thought of this as lovely. I guess I always thought of this as sort of a duty, a tradition.
Traditions can be very lovely if you look at them from a certain perspective.
Yes, yes. And yet, from another perspective, I had a clarity of thought. I don't know if I would call it a clarity, but being away from the Shadowfell and being around those that are distinctly different from me, and just observing how they approach life sort of makes me think that those things that I hold true, those little traditions, perhaps they are just peer pressure from those that have fallen before me. But it's what I know.
Does doing this give you comfort in any way?
She's going to swallow. It's going to be one of those just kind of not in the throat kind of swallow. And she's going to say, it helps me remember, and it helps me know what I must do. She has a very kind of like stern look on her face as she's continuing to put up some more of the bottles.
Phoebe's gonna kind of try to analyze her, like if she's feeling any other emotions besides what she's saying.
Maybe insight.
Ooh.
Ooh?
Ooh?
Go ahead.
Fuck. It's okay.
I mean, I would say you would definitely tell that there was this sense of kind of quiet sorrow as she was putting things up. And ever since she said that little piece, you notice that there's a bit of a poker face. Kind of a more, the kind of poker face that you're used to seeing on Misery.
I take a deep breath, sigh a little bit, and I turn to Misery for a moment. Listen, I've been thinking about doing something. I don't know if you would want to take any part in it. If you don't have to, there's no pressure. But I think it would be lovely if we made a safe space for people to do things like this, and she gestures to the tree deck to me. I was thinking we are gaining more and more people in our settlements, and they're going to have their own beliefs, like you and me, and they're going to need a place to practice those beliefs and do their own thing. And I wanted to, make a nice building for that. Not just for one god, just multiple gods. Anything these people need.
Hold on. I'm gonna wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Damn.
You wise.
And she is going to blink at the notion. Hold on a moment. Oop. Okay, probably not very well. Okay, so she is going to smile and very confidently say, like, oh, don't take this the wrong way, by the way, out of character. I'll tell you where the actual deception is. She is going to say, yeah, I think that would be fantastic. That would be good for everyone. And I would be happy to, take part in that and put in my part to make that something for everyone. And something that would, stand the test of time for years to come, and spending those years cultivating that. Where you detect the deception, all of that was true, except there was a little bit of a crack behind the notion of her being around to spend years doing that. She gives a deep breath, and she kind of turns to look over to you, and she says, Evie, what is it that you feel now concerning... I'm sorry if this is too much to prod, but what is it that you feel now concerning the one you used to love?
Oh, what do you want me to say? Hatred?
What is it, the kind of hatred that you would do everything in your power to ensure that their treachery, that their actions are never repeated upon another individual ever again? Perhaps even if it meant your own life.
Let's say that if the time came and I had a very clear opportunity to do what I need to do, I would be perfectly content doing it, even if I knew I would not make it.
She gives sort of a firm nod to that. And she says, I feel the same about someone that is equally behind all of the trouble that we have encountered. My goal with this shrine is not just one of memory and not just one of worship. It's one of revenge. It's my intent that as soon as that revenge is complete, I'm going to light this tree aflame.
As soon as you say it, you just see Phoebe start smiling. Like I said, we are much more alike than you think.
I think at this point you do get like a full-on smile / grin from Phoebe. I'm sorry, from Misery. And it's sort of this, it is this very rare like sense of Misery has sort of been the outsider this entire time, in a sense. And it's been hard for her to kind of mesh in with everyone. And it seemed like for the first time, there was like a moment where somebody had the same level of revenge hatred for someone that wronged them. And there's some kind of camaraderie in that. She is going to she's gonna say that can you do something for me, Phoebe?
Tell me.
If for any reason my own quest for revenge ends without me, I would like for you to be the one to light this aflame.
I'm honored, but I don't think it will come to that, Misery.
If you were in my position and you were building a shrine to something you remember, a time when things were simpler, and you knew that you were going to burn it upon the completion of your own revenge, do you imagine that it would happen with or without you?
I find that hard to say. I just don't have a preference, is all.
Neither do I. And she's going to continue putting up the baubles.
Me too.
Easy enough. As you sort of continue placing bauble after bauble, and doing so with care, eventually all your retainers begin to continue helping, but at a certain point, after several minutes, you eventually look at it and you're content with what has been placed and what is represented on it. You believe it to be, quote unquote, done, but you know that this is only just the beginning, Missouri. With that, is there anything you'd like to do in its completion, if you will?
A way to like christen it. Ooh, I need to think about that. Yes, you know, because she is the, you know, Shatterkai boss bitch that she is, just goth bitch that she is going to, she's gonna do the most gothy / edgelordy thing in this case, and she's gonna take out a knife, and she is going to whoosh her palm, and she is going to approach the shrine on the place where the sign of the Raven Queen has been carved in, and she is going to put her hand on the top of it and begin to sort of let the blood trickle down through the engraving.
God damn. As it is done, I see as it begins to go across it for a moment, and Misery, make a perception check for me. 23. As you're letting it sort of go across the engraving and more, you catch in the corner of your eye, you see a strange figure sort of looking out at you. Seems to be far in the distance, over towards the water specifically. At first you think it's Straftara, but no. The sort of aesthetic and design of it is a lot darker, if you will. You only see them for a split second, but your vision when you do witness them begins to completely change and alter for a moment. Your sight begins to lose color for a second, and you look over back towards where your hand is, and you see nothing but a feather just being placed upon it. Something's watching you, and you know exactly who. Eventually, your vision returns, but she's awaiting your presence. And she doesn't like to wait for too long. Choice is yours on what you want to do.
Misery is going to, I guess, is she even aware of, like, you know, is it one of those things where if somebody has a vision, they're just suddenly not aware of things going on around them? Like they're just kind of walking out in the middle of nowhere? Mm-hmm. Or is it like she needs to look back and look to Phoebe and be like, like, I'll be right back.
More so, you look back and they're already gone.
Do the brownies hit like right away, or is it like, okay, give me a second, I need to sit down for a sec, it's happening?
I would say it's happening, I need a sec.
All right, exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, she is going to sort of blink in a little bit of an astonished state and begin walking forward.
All right. As you sort of do so. Now, this is going to look different for two perspectives. What Phoebe sees and what Misery sees. So, as Phoebe, you sort of look over towards Misery as you start approaching to where you saw that figure for a moment. You see as she's walking towards the sort of cliffside for a moment, and Eventually, as she's walking and walking and walking, she gets about around this sort of area right there and just stops. Stops moving, which you can tell almost stops breathing, and immediately drops to a knee. That is what you see, Phoebe. Misery, what you instead see is this. Or you continue on and, well, let's start off with this. What are you sort of thinking about, or what are you focusing on as you're sort of approaching that single area?
There's someone waiting for Misery. Does Misery know who or what it is?
You know it to be the Matron of Ravens.
She sort of feels a mixture of awe and maybe a little bit of fear, and maybe like a little bit of guilt, maybe. And she's gonna fall to her knee, and as a knight of the Raven Queen, she is going to do the regal bow. I am your servant, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Easy enough. As you do, if you can give me one moment, I'm trying to grab something and it disappeared on me. So, here it is. I believe. Let me make sure, just in case. Perfect. So, Misery, as you sort of drop to this knee, your sight begins to completely darken for a moment. Eventually, you see as all around you begin to see feathers beginning to start almost falling from complete thin air for a moment, materializing out of nothing. One feather, 2, 3, 4, 8, then dozens and dozens before you see nothing but them all flowing around you. They disperse almost like a gust of wind, and you find yourself in that strange sort of lack of color for a moment, standing atop a cliff and a bridge between you, leading to a distant, fog-shrouded landscape. My friend, let's go on a ride, as this is what you see. Now, if anybody else doesn't, then let me know, and I will change permissions and make it where you can see through Misery's eyes. But this is what you see up ahead. Oh, boy.
Oh god, it's vintage as well.
Oh my goodness.
Why is
Tom, we're
everything-
going to war.
Why is
We're going to war.
vintage?
Holy crap. Everything's
It's
warped.
It's funny because you just started doing it. I was like, oh, this is going to be hilarious.
The Raven
But
Queen hates color.
also, if you could, I have another bit of ambience that you can sort of play in the meantime.
Is it also vintage?
Yes, very much. No, I'm kidding.
The Raven Queen's like the kind of gal who, like, I only watch film, on film, not digital. Yeah, I only listen to vinyl. It's way better. Sounds way better.
All of my movies have to end with Finn.
That sounds about right, honestly. You can. Oh wait, that's not it. What the fuck? No.
The Matron of Ravens is
that
like.
looks too happy.
No.
The Matron of Ravens is like a flapper, like a 1920s flapper. Like, beautiful image.
Oh, that was weird. Copy the wrong thing. All right, there you go.
Oh, that's better.
Cut my life into pieces.
Sounds about right. So, Misery.
This is the Shadowfell.
Misery, as you look around, you begin to the air it's still, and there is again that heavy lingering fog ahead. It sort of looms around the entire area as almost a shroud of grief, trapping everything within it. You recognize it, and you recognize it well, as this has to be the Shadowfell or something akin to it in nature. Regardless, you can feel the chill of death emanating from the fog. And you see it, or you feel this chill from a crypt almost seeping into your bones. It's foreboding, but it seems to be as Knight of the Raven Queen. You have to welcome it if you want an
Feels like
audience
home.
with her.
Feels like home.
Go ahead. What does Misery do or say?
Misery is going to sort of step forward, kind of very methodically. Step kind of before the bridge.
As you sort of approach the bridge, you can hear, oh god, you can sort of hear the bits of faint whispering voices and more. It's almost as if there are cries of hundreds, if not thousands, of lost souls, and they're almost calling out to you from the other side of the bridge. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Wisdom. Oh no. Boom.
So let's see. 21, you still got it.
That's one of my dump stats. Ooh, that's pretty good.
So with a 21, those cries of thousands of lost souls, you realize that those aren't actually cries or wails. They are more so memories. Memories of other individuals, all sort of playing out before you, in front of your, well, not necessarily before your eyes, but more so hearing it, witnessing it, and almost feeling it for a second. Regardless, the bridge begins to almost look, or it almost calls out towards you. It's hard to sort of see, despite the map, what Misery can actually see. It's hard to see necessarily the end of it, but something or some portion of it in the center of this bridge, it calls out to you and awaits you.
I'm going to begin, that is to say Misery is going to begin, stepping onto the bridge. Stepping across it. Doing so kind of slowly and observing the area around her.
As you do, you can... Oh, go.
Does she see anything in like the darkness below her or anything like that?
See a little bit. Here is what you is what sense comes to you first. But as you're sort of walking about the bridge, you again feel that chill run down your spine for a moment, and you begin to hear is another voice that seems feminine in nature for a moment, but it starts off as more whispers before eventually materializing and saying,
"Welcome. See that you have received my message. I applaud you for not making me wait any longer. My child, please. Closer."
As
She's going to, I mean, obviously I'm going faster, but she's not necessarily going faster.
you can stop right there. That's all good.
All right.
No, you're good.
It's like, did I just hear her? If she starts suddenly like becoming a child, be like, oh, yay! No, that's not how she's not gonna be. That's not how she's.
Misery just leaves. Vaults over the bridge and into water.
I'm here. But no, as you sort of do so, you notice as eventually pieces of the fog begin to part, and a figure standing at the edge of the bridge, more so, not the end of it, more so in the center of it, and in the fog itself. You notice a figure cloaked in shadows, wearing almost a hooded robe before it's eventually unveiled. You notice as their long sort of hair begins to sort of fall down past their shoulders and more, a mask amongst them, but you don't necessarily see a facial expression really. You see the Raven Queen and her form illuminated by this eerie light that begins as blue before eventually being snuffed out surrounding her. However, she is not alone. You look around and you notice as there are dozens of avian specters flocking around her. Even the likes of your own retainers, they begin to fly off from your shoulders and eventually begin to join all of the ravens around. With that, you see she looks over and she looks down towards you, Misery, as you see the Raven Queen before your very eyes.
Immediately start kneeling
Oh.
and groveling.
As you do, her eyes seem to almost pierce your very soul, but she looks and says,
Misery. Lysandra. You have continued my mission, your quest. But now seems to be the new chapter of this long journey. You build a shrine in your own village. Why have you done so? What are you seeking?
My queen, I wish to light it aflame, along with all that I have collected for you. The Lich, he has killed your children. He has killed my brother. This is an abomination. It must be destroyed. And the relic must be returned, as is my charge. My grief for my brother is immense, and my pain, and my anger, and my vengeance is all-consuming.
as you begin to say this, you notice as the Raven Queen begins to shift for a moment, or looking out towards all of the calling memories about them.
Your vengeance, all-consuming. However, though you fight day by day righteously, the strength needed is not yet obtained. To right these wrongs, this abomination has caused you are the only one capable of doing so. You of the remaining knights. However, as it stands, you must be better. You will be better. And I will see to it. However, one thing is for sure. I look towards individuals, looking towards and seeing exactly what emotions they have. But if only blind fury is what guides you, then I am afraid of what fate will meet you. Is blind fury the only thing you will contain, or is there more?
And you see as they wait expectantly.
At this point, Misery is like crying. There are tears kind of filtering down her face in such a way where all of that, like, all of the eyeliner and mascara is running with it. So you're getting like these little black tears that are kind of forming on her face. And she is sort of taking these words in this kind of shaken sense of, like, there's this sense of shame, this sense of, like, inferiority, of unworthiness almost at one moment, and then there is this kind of like self-admission that her heart has been absolutely calloused and absolutely filled with this hatred to such an extent that she has sort of, she feels like she's actually not lived up to her promise, and that there is much more pain in herself. There's much more of this selfish sense of self that she's trying to, like, fulfill, this void in herself that she's trying to fulfill. And while she kind of felt this entire time that, you know, encountering the Lich and taking back the relic, that's part of the duty, she's sort of seen it as just a technical goal to, at this point, fulfill that revenge in her heart. And I do want to take a quick out-of-character moment to mention that High Rollers D&D just rated the channel with 288 viewers. So if you want to make that transition over to them, we can continue.
Misery.
I'm glad you did.
Oh, the misery.
Oh man, thank you so much, High Rollers D&D, for the 288 person raid. Welcome, my friends. I do say we are in the middle of a session, so it is appreciated that you guys were able to stop by. Hope you guys had an epic stream, but right now we're in the middle of a scene, and my focus is on the D&D and the game. So hey, all the follows, all the love, all the support's very much appreciated, but we're gonna be focusing on this. So hey, grab a seat, grab some popcorn, whatever you wish, and enjoy the show. Thank you guys again. Appreciate y'all.
And so with this scene of kneeling before the Raven Queen on this bridge, her tears kind of coursing down her face, drawing, you know, eyeliner and mascara down in black tears, and finally understanding that her quest for revenge has been all about satiating her own personal revenge. Her demeanor changes, and she kind of looks up to the Raven Queen, almost as if, like, it's very different. It's very different now. It's, you know, she is supposed to be this strong, stoic knight of the Raven Queen. She's supposed to be this person who's supposed to be filled with duty. But in this spare moment, she's actually looking up to the Raven Queen, and she is sort of kind of in confession mode a little bit. And she says, "My queen, I am just... my heart is filled with hatred over my brother. I can't help but think of him every day. I can't help but think of the Lich every waking moment. It's filled my soul with hatred. It's pulled me so far away from my commitment. I need your help. I need to fulfill this. I need to be able to complete this revenge. I know no better way for me to throw off the shackles of this darkness and to return to you proper. Even if it means in living body or in a deceased spirit of memories.
As you're sort of saying this, you see as the Raven Queen begins to look down to you. She speaks and says,
Your words. You speak with, how you say, for lack of a better term, remorse, sadness, but conviction in what you must do. Listen to me for but a moment, if you wish for my aid. This individual, a lich, has caused so much pain and suffering. Similar, but not exact, to yours. For years, cycles, if you will. A long, long time. Whether it was destroying knights of the past or other warriors across this wretched land that now you have been placed. You've been the cause of all of that pain. You, misery. You will be the champion that puts it to an end. That ceases this cycle of suffering. I ask you not to just avenge your brother and your fallen comrades, but also those who fell before you, and to prevent anyone from falling after you. This ends with you. You asked for my blessing, and I will bestow it, but only if you agree to my plea.
does that make sense on what she's asking?
My understanding is that she is asking that I, not just out of revenge, but fully commit to the vanquishing of this lich, not because of Misery's loss in particular, but because of the total amount of loss that has been caused by the lich, that misery changes her motivations to doing it as a righteous act of justice rather than personal revenge. Is that kind of the gist of it?
The gist of it, but not necessarily changing it, adding to the motivation, rather. And using that as a fuel, that more so your own personal sort of experience with it, and using that as a fuel for that justification for everyone. That makes more sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In those last words, Misery's demeanor begins to revert back to one that is, I wouldn't say proud, but one that is trained, dutiful, stoic. Her posture straightens a bit, and she takes a deep breath. Close of the eyes to sort of push back down that fiery rage that she has for the loss of those she was wishing to avenge, and opens her eyes with a sense of sheer determination and says, "I will do as you ask, my queen. I will end the lich. I will end his reign of terror, and I will do it so that no terror can be beset upon others. For that is my duty."
Well,
I accept.
As you begin to say this, you'll see as several ravens begin to flow over towards you for a moment, kind of towards your arm, and as this happens, almost trying to raise you for a second, she speaks and says,
If that is the case, then stand, champion. Champion of ravens. And accept my offering.
And with this, you notice as the Raven Queen begins to slowly move towards you. As she does, the light of her presence begins to intensify and a mysterious energy radiates from her. Her eyes seem to pierce your very soul as you stand there. Transfixed, she moves her hand over your bit of armor and whispers a few words in a divine and arcane mixturing of a language. Instantly, the shadows around you part, and the armor that you wear is transformed, glowing with a powerful bone-white light. You can feel the power of the Raven Queen coursing through your veins, and as you look down, you see as pieces of a divine artifact, a tool to borrow. It's bestowed, broken, but still seeking to become whole. A divine artifact in the Death Walker's ward. A fragment of divine protection. You look over, and she says,
Fight. Fight and continue for your goals. The likes of this pursuit of the Lich's death. And grow closer towards them with this tournament, if you will. Get closer to bringing me what is rightfully mine. And for every step you take getting closer to that goal, you will grow and the armor along with you.
And with that, she slowly fades away, and the fog begins to dissipate, leaving you alone on the bridge, feeling the strength of the Raven Queen's blessing coursing through your body. So let me explain this one, my friend. Out of game. So, here's what it is. Right now, Matt, you have a broken version of the Deathwalker's Ward. Essentially, right now, it's a basic version. It's only just a +1 chainmail. That's all it does. But like the Raven Queen said, it will grow in strength as long as you do. In this tournament that you said that you're looking to compete in, it's time for you to prove your strength and your resolve towards this. For every round you increase, and for every bit closer you get to eventually slaying the Lich, it evolves. For example, let's say in the tournament sort of space, if you will. If you go to round 2, and you survive, not dying, you get advantage on death saving throws. Survive and win to round 3, and you may summon the wings of the Raven Queen to aid you. As a bonus action, all that stuff. Round 4, you get the final piece of the Deathwalker's Ward, and you get resistance to either acid, cold, fire, lightning, necrotic, or poison damage. It'll be your choice. If you get there, but you have to get to round 4 to even do that.
Oh, I have to succeed at the tournament in order to put this thing back together?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's an optional thing. You don't have to. It's not expected for you to do so. But the more you do and the more you fight in the Raven Queen's name, the stronger you will get and the more she will bless you with it.
It's basically a free artifact.
You have a
It's a free artifact.
literally.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you have
It's
to
go
work
time.
But if you don't win, then hey man, it's just a +1 chainmail and doesn't do shit for you, and you never can get past that. So hey, win or suffer the
Or
consequences.
have a +1 chainmail for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Your choice, really.
Oh, dear.
But with
This
that,
is gonna be nuts because there's a lot of people that want to win in this tournament.
oh man.
Oh my god.
Well, you picked your god, now you have to pray.
So, meanwhile, while Misery's having a fever dream, we look over towards the likes of back towards the kindred spirits home, and we look over towards Auroraverse, who seems to be in the likes of the arena, as we were sort of discussing, in the background. We're talking about a couple of things, but so Navro, you would find yourself in the likes of the arena along with Sirius, as you two are sort of talking more so arcane theory and all that sort of stuff. But before we do any of that sort of thing or those sort of things, let me address one thing to Max. So what we're gonna do, I'll mention this a little bit later, but we're gonna do the whole Ezrin thing with Navro at another point. We're just gonna jump back to that. Not this session. We're gonna do it at another point, coming back to that sort of whole thing to roleplay that out.
Okay.
So TLDR, basically, fast forward, that already happened, yada, yada, yada. So if Zale, I don't know what you're necessarily doing, if you're watching this happen or play out, or if you're gonna go talk to one of the other characters, all good. You can just let me know by shooting me a DM, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna start off with Navro. So what would you be sort of doing, or if it's beforehand or during it, what would you find yourself doing along with Sirius here?
Beforehand, I assume that this is kind of a, I know I'm going to meet Sirius. We've already planned this out. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
As Navro is kind of on his haunches, sort of hand on the ground, muttering something to himself, he lifts it up and begins to see a white circle forming. Looking down at the ground, he mutters to himself more. Sirius, I think you'd be able to see, tall enough from that angle. it's sort of annoyed before he stands up and kind of looks to you and begins to walk down. If my mouse can stop fucking up and clicking on his character sheet, thank you. He takes the stairs, but I'm just gonna do this.
No.
Oh god!
I've
fallen, and I can't get up. So you've requested at this point to learn some of my dunamancy skills.
Yes, I appreciate you taking the time to teach me such ways, for actually taking interest in the strange magics that you wield.
Well, they're not strange, they're actually quite simple. What direction is, like, west from here? Or, sorry, east?
East.
Sirius points west.
Alright, yeah, he points it. Do
you
you
know.
need to know the map, or like, no, you're good.
I just want to know, like, where east is. I probably know at this point, but yeah.
Sure.
Navro does look to the east, and towards the point of Voden, the highest point.
Right.
I have suspicions. Serious, I might not be spending as much time here as I would like.
In a physical sense, or is there another purpose that draws you?
There are other purposes. People have uses for me. There is something I could do. I won't teach you. Someone else will. And as Navro grabs his poncho, he's going to flick it off, and he's going to use Alter Self to assume what Kobzo would use as his default form. No one's around,
He's flashing
right?
me.
Awful.
No, I don't think so. No.
You see before you, I don't have art for it, but you see before you, it's as though Navro is much younger, paler skin, but it's still full of life. Young. It's an uncanny sight. He's somewhat effeminate, long platinum hair, and eyes that are normal for once, but they still glow eerily. And he just, like, as he flips off the poncho, he just kind of, like, dust fills his face. He's oh, fuck! Okay. Hi. We haven't talked before.
Hello?
And he kind of approaches further. I'm the guy you've been scared of. I'm Kobzo. Now don't give me any fucking look.
But granted, it's more that I wasn't really afraid of you. It was just more so everyone else is more so worried about what you would do.
If I wanted you dead, I would have talked to Neblos during our conversation and sided with him. There are a million times I could have had you dead, but I didn't need you dead. I don't want you dead. I don't want any of you dead. Is that enough?
Testing.
Oh. Showcase? What the fuck?
Showcase
Thank
is
you.
just Kreelin's just sort of saying that while flying over everything.
He's testing the UAV system. He's got
Yep.
This is the microphone. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It feels as though walking on eggshells when it comes to me. I know I'm a scary guy, unpredictable, but you do seem like a very interesting person. How do you think gravity works? Sit down.
I was already sitting.
He's already sitting? Okay. It's
You couldn't tell because of the height.
Close your eyes. Dunamancy works on probability. Chronergy rejects that probability. It is saying no when the only answer is yes. Graviturgy is accepting That, yes. But finding your way around it. Are you from Voden, or are you from another planet?
I am from Tahiti.
Tahiri on Leonios, or Leonios
Yes.
on Tahiri. There a moon on that planet?
Yes, there are 3, actually. No, sorry, 2. The third one's more of a myth.
It has a moon, okay. With that, you require an orbit. It's eternal. I'm thinking of this from your druidic angle. There's a million ways you could think about dunamancy, but it permeates everything. It permeates in rocks. In every organism, everything has a gravitational field. But it's not about manipulating it. It's about accepting it. And then rejecting it. Making it your own. Do you understand?
I understand that the centripetal force of the gravity of the moon is what I want to harness that energy and use that to both either amplify my own or either conjure it in another new form of gravity, correct?
You're thinking about this way too much. Alright. Eyes closed. Cool. And you kind of feel him like getting closer. He's like kind of squatted down next to you, and he's going to place down a small pebble. I want you to move that pebble. Just think about it. Graviturgy is more than just moving things with your mind. It's more than just doing 2d8 force damage and having movement. It's about accepting probability and manipulating it as you go. You ride the rapids. And in that way, you control them. Tell me, do you see the gravitational field of the pebble in your mind?
I see it swirling. I see it becoming its own center.
Do you see it interacting with your own?
I see a force. A force
Think about the gravity of Voden. Think about how it's moving, how everything relative is moving. And then accept it. Ride the rapids. And then, without moving, pick up the pebble. We could say this is like a wisdom ability check or something like that. Whatever you
I'm fine with
call DM.
17, that's pretty damn good.
But Sirius is like he reaches out a hand almost instinctively, and you see those motes of stars become to almost form inside the shadows of his hand. They almost reach out to the bit, but before usually the light of like starlight would be the ones expelling from his hands. This time it's like a void, a darkness really comes out and almost takes the shadow itself of the pebble, and you watch as the pebble itself like just vibrates slightly, and then you see it again as he will cast magnify gravity on that space.
As it does so, you notice as gravity begins to shift, alter for a moment, and obviously you damn well do feel it. Rough around the edges, it's not as potent, but considering from a brief bit of explanation and description, pretty darn good for a first time.
My fucking back hurts.
But sorry, he releases it.
But that does mean you're a natural. You learn quickly. Tell me, what is it that you gravitate to? And I don't mean the nature or the fucking stars or something like that.
That was going to be my second answer.
People are so fucking predictable. What do you gravitate to? What do you accept that you'll always move towards?
The lands that I walk, the forces of nature itself, whether that be a new type of land in this land that defies that gravity, I will take in those laws that it holds.
And if someday that doesn't work out, your life is ruined, you're not just dead, you wish you were dead, what would happen then?
Then I make my own.
You really are a quick learner. And assuming you're still sitting down, Kabza clasps a hand on your shoulder. Our next lesson, when next we meet, will be on chronergy. You've learned to accept. Now, at some point, you'll have to learn how to reject.
Seriously, determined look.
You took me way better than I thought you were.
It's more what people would say about you, and it's not more, oh, you did this thing and now I have to see you as a bad person. It's, before when we met Nebulous, I was only hoping that there would be some sort of understanding between our groups, but that speech that he gave, it was a mockery of all that I've told. It truly angered me when he said those words.
Damn. So with that, you're willing to work with the likes of me?
If you're willing to at least start not like he did.
Look, we all have our own reasons for doing things. I assume he does too. Hell, we know why. But there are some things you're gonna have to accept. He's in the way. Either you accept him, he's there. You have to work with him, as is the third step. Or you reject him and put someone else there. And for that, you'll have to get your hands dirty. And that's a lesson I can't give.
Getting my hands dirty is not would be the issue. I have accepted that this man exists, but he has to leave.
Yeah, he has, which, sorry?
He has to leave.
Alright. I think we understand each other way better than I thought we would. You kind of seem to me like a tree-hugging hippie, but...
What is it?
You know it, okay, alright. Certain terms don't translate one-to-one.
I've only been alone for maybe 200 years. I don't know much of like social language.
Well, then we have to get you a thesaurus then. Maybe I won't be there for it, though. And kind of shows the white mark. It seems someone else needs me. The soulbound are always like that.
Have you not heard anything of the Black Star Dragon?
Not of him. Not a thing. Thank fuck.
But yes. Just know that I will do what I can to help you transition to this next part of your journey.
Okay. Thank you. Serious. Do you have a surname?
No, we had more of a tribal name. For my circle, it would be Sirius of the Stars.
Alright then, Mister of the Stars. I'm glad I could teach you this. And putting back on the poncho and the hat, immediately the spell fades off and you see Navro's emaciated dead form. And he kind of shakes his head. Apologies. But I hope you had an enjoyable lesson.
He was helpful. He was understanding.
He'll appear that way. But not always. Seems to have taken a liking to you, certain other people. In either case, I think we're finished here.
As the case. Good.
No, Sirius thanks him again. And then if Navro's just leaving, you're going to see Sirius more so, at least training.
You'll see Navro continually just with his staff kind of again muttering to himself as he kind of you hear the tick-tock talking sound of the wood on the stone and dirt.
Easy enough.
Yes. I just want to flex this out real quick. I just spent last 40 minutes doing this. I'm just gonna.
Oh. Yo. No way.
Oh,
Good
that's
thing.
crazy. Nothing happened.
Asshole monster.
Boundary froze on me. It can't handle the power. Oh, there it
Do you
is.
want me to place the measure?
Oh. No, I got it.
Oh.
Oh, squiggly lines, the terror.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, man. Heck yeah. Can you get? Wait, hold on. Actually, question. Can you do that? You did that on your own end?
Yes.
Stuff? Oh shit! I didn't know.
I
Blaze
have been
could do that.
hacking into your mainframe this entire time. You guys are talking about the Raven Queen.
Oh man.
I am in your IP.
Oh no!
Concerning.
Hey, don't link that. Don't link that. But I did. Yeah. I mean, hey, if you guys are wanting to do that for any of your stuff, by all means, if you can figure it out and not break anything, go for it.
While are you later, Amos?
All right. So, while this is sort of happening, Sirius and Navro, you guys continue on or go about the rest of your business, preparing yourselves for the journey ahead. And as that bit of time begins to pass, time elsewhere for someone might not. We look out away from the Forbidden Expanse, away from all of Voden, and we look out towards another individual, far away, but home-ish, on Tahiri, specifically found in the streets of Siglasia. We look towards you, Ilva. Ilva, as you are found sort of walking about in this strange sort of town and city, you notice as up above it is, well, first off, it is nighttime in Siglasia at the moment. On top of that, you do notice as the rain is beginning to pour, striking down upon you, and also the thunder overhead is not making much things even better. For now, if you guys want, I will post another bit of ambience that you guys can play in the background. It's up to you if you want to play it. Doesn't matter to me. But I'm dropping that in game content chat. Give me 2 seconds. There you go. You see, as the rain begins to sort of pick up more and more, and the thunder begins to start booming about, you do notice as you're just trying to more so get a little bit of ways or get a distance away from your last bit of area. But while you're doing so, you do see a couple of other more so beggars and individuals asking for a bit of food or coin. Here is where you find yourself, my friend. Make sure this is right. Make sure this is okay. Cool. All right. Let me know if you don't see anything once I do it in 3, 2, 1. All right.
Nice. Downtown LA.
Let's go.
Hey, I got robbed there.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Are you sure this isn't New York? It looks like home to me.
That's close. Kind of close.
Yeah.
But what would you find, or what would Ilva be kind of doing as it's again dark as in the night, rain is sort of pouring, thunder and more? What would you kind of imagine her sort of doing right now, based off of the last thing that she sort of did over in Siglasia and righteous sacrifice and all that stuff?
Probably just getting away from the scene in general. We caused commotion, and then we spent most of our spell slots communicating. And then it would just be because I had the white mark was acting ferocious. And so it would probably just be try and get away as fast as possible. Probably not paying too much mind to any of the passerbyers. If someone tried to stop me, I just keep kind of like bulldozing through this kind of thing. So just expecting whatever to happen kind of happen to me as the beam of light from my hand is growing ever more brighter.
Question: are you trying to hide it, or are you what's the story with that? Are you trying to hide it or anything, or no?
Yeah, I would have put it like either under my arm or I don't know. I guess I have gloves, so I guess I just wear gloves.
Hey man, it's still even then. Same thing that happened to another individual. You do notice despite the sort of covering of the glove, it is still the light is still piercing through it. Regardless, it may not be able to, or the mark may not still be known, but you can still see something acting up with your hand. At some point, a couple of just random sort of guards and such would ask you, "Is everything okay?" But you can just easily pass them by and continue on. They don't really pay too much attention. It's probably just magic, nothing to be too afraid of, but definitely to keep an eye on you. But
I guess we'll just mumble like just a light cantrip.
Easy enough. As you continue on, eventually you find yourself in a small area of reprieve, a small alleyway of the sorts where a lot of the prying eyes might be away. As you're sort of here, no one seems to have followed you. If anybody was chasing after you, seem to have lost them. What would you say you're doing here, Ilva?
I would inspect my hand at this point to see if it's still glowing crazy.
Begin to do so, and you see as it begins to sort of pulse once, twice, 4 times, and then stops for a moment. And then eventually a 5th time. It seems to be that it's still growing wildly and out of control for a moment. It's getting worse and worse. You do notice as the mark itself, it seems to not just have one fin anymore. It seems to have 2 fins specifically. 2 fins almost exactly like a spirit. Any of the builder spirits that you've sort of seen before, it's that exact same shape.
I guess just looking at it and knowing the feeling that I was being pulled again, I would just kind of like look at it and just sigh and just say, just do whatever you're gonna do already, and just kind of like shake my hand or something.
Kind of start shaking and nothing's going on. It's kind of almost infuriating that it's not necessarily acting on your will, or you're not entirely sure exactly, well, how the hell this damn thing works. But eventually, as you're sort of like trying to get it to do something, one person's going to sort of start looking over and kind of see the little bit of light flashing a little bit, and notice as they kind of just start walking over. As they sort of do, they'll look over and see that you're in heavy clad armor and more before they begin to say, excuse me, please, if you could be so kind, I only need a small bit of coin to feed myself, please. Anything would suffice. So they kind of hold their hands out and motion towards you, Ova. What would you say or do?
I'll just give him the few silver coins that I picked up just randomly, whatever, and then just say, "That's all I have. I'm just trying to figure out how to use this light cantrip. Just don't know how to. Just practicing by myself. Just here you go."
How many silvers specifically do you give them?
I think like I had like 5 or 6.
Okay, so I kind of start counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is thank you. This is actually I really do hate sort of ask for this. Do you
Yeah,
think
me too. I hate it too. Yep.
is it possible? I have another. My brother, they're not doing too well, and I think a 6th one would definitely be enough to suffice.
I gave you every. Listen, I am trying to control this light, and I am a brand new person. This thing could just explode and murder us all. I gave you what I had. Just back up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, very sure. This light cantrip is dangerous.
As you make a persuasion check, I'll give you advantage.
Damn, Elva, I didn't know you acted this way towards poor people.
Well, I'll say probably not advantage. Probably not advantage. Just a straight roll for this.
You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Elva, showing your political view.
23. He looks over and says, okay, very, very dangerous. Gotcha. Well, if
could take out an eye. Don't want to lose an eye.
Yep. If you ever need anything, I'll be over there. You can feel free to join us.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh.
And as you sort of see them walking about, you'll see as they begin to almost look over and sort of count the silver for a second. Make a perception check for me, please.
These motherfuckers are robbers.
Oh God, that fucking scared me, Jesus Christ! Oh God, I thought gunshots were going off.
E20.
We in New York, eh?
Ova, as you sort of look over for a minute, you see as the individual begins to sort of go about, but that's not the thing that sort of drags your attention. That natural 20 is only something that you'd see, Ova. You look up towards the sky, you look over and try to figure out what the hell this stupid light cantrip isn't sort of working for. But you look above, looking up towards the moon, and sort of double take for a second. Was it always like that? Or you sort of start trying to wipe your eyes or something just to see if like you're seeing it correctly, but you begin to see as an eclipse begins to form far, far up above. You eventually have to sort of shield your eyes from it for a moment, and the area begins to grow even darker. You look over, and with that nat 20 on your perception check, you do notice as the individual who was sort of walking up and sort of asking for a bit of coin, you notice as 2 other individuals begin to walk over and begin to speak and say, hey, what do you got over there? And Caesar begins to start walking over towards the individual, fucking talking to you. Grabs his arm, sort of tosses him off to the side. You notice as the coins begin to spill out over towards the right for a moment. It was just a couple of coins. I asked for it, honest. Please, I don't mean any sort of harm. Not at all. Well, your harm won't come to you as long as you give me or exactly what you have or what you received. I'm not gonna ask again.
Wait, what happened?
That's sort of happening. Ova, are you doing anything? Yeah, stop.
I witnessed this little transaction thing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at my light cantrip and looking at or not trying to look at the moon doing its little eclipse thing, and then kind of sighing as this person is also trying to take advantage of another person, whatever. I guess I'm just going to
also this one, my bad.
Doubles.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just going to just like walk up behind one of them and just tap them on the shoulder.
Sure thing. You can move your token and all that stuff. Sure. So you tap on this guy.
Yeah, and then I punch him in the face.
Easy enough. As you sort of do so, tap, tap, wham! Make it an attack roll towards them, please. Just unarmed strike towards them. As you just reach over, I'll give you advantage. Hell, go for it. As they're looking over, wait, what the? Wham! Immediately with a 21 to hit, 3 points of damage. You see as they go flying, crashing into the back wall for a moment. You see as they drop down onto both their hands and knees for a second. And you see as he's sort of coughing out a bit of blood. The other guy looks over and to speak. Oh, you're gonna fucking regret that. He's gonna rush over and try to strike you with an unarmed strike himself. You can sort of retaliate if you wish so. But first he's gonna try to strike you. It's just a straight roll for him.
Taking it on the chin.
14, all right. If you're taking or hit, then hey, that's gonna be 1 point of damage. They don't do really much. As it strikes you, you see as your jaw's almost relocated for a second, but you've been through way, way worse. This is nothing to you. They look over and they see as you almost are pretty much unfazed by it. What the fuck? What do you do, Ova?
Roundhouse kick.
You got it. Unarmed strike. One more time.
Oh, my target is what?
I don't know. Just get closer.
It wouldn't let me do it.
Look, you just have to do the Tatsumaki. You have to get the one.
With a 13 to hit, 3 points of damage, immediately you just send this other individual flying back. They actually crash into the barrels for a moment, and as this happens, you see as the bits of blood begins to spill from their nose. But with that perception check of 26, a nat 20. You look over towards the other individual as they're bloodied, but something's up with their blood. See, it's just not necessarily red. It's more so a black ichor, if you will, more so almost even bluish in nature. Sees the other guy begins to reach, or the one they were sort of harassing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know.
Go on, get out of here. I didn't punch him for nothing.
Are you sure you don't want to
run?
I know.
Son of a bitch.
And you see as that blood on the ground, it's not black or blue.
Oh.
It seems to be purple. It seems to be astral. As their bones begin to start cracking, ripping and tearing, and you notice as their face begins to show, as you we're in the process of breaking it, but now it reveals the corruption afar. And you see, not one, not two, but you look over and you see the third one, his face begins to literally rip and open from the inside, and it stares you down, and you see a third one of the corruption begin to form. Ova, I need you to roll for initiative because your soul is shackled and the time for battle is now.
This would be a lesson. Don't give money to poor people.
Oh man, here
They might turn into starry ones. Jesus.
They might be.
They really
evil.
love silver.
Hey man, they really love 5 silver.
What was that?
That was a
Hey,
1. I know
yeah.
it wasn't. No more. No one cut it.
All right, here's what I need from you, Ilva. Okay, so let's see, top of the round. Bam. All right. Tahiri Titan, you are up. What would you like to, or what would you like to do for the first round of initiative? Got it.
I guess I don't. Oh God, I wasn't ready to go first.
Oh, well, as this is sort of happening, well, it's all coming back to you because you look over and you see as that white mark upon your hand begins to slowly start almost shining even more. The corruption around you begins to start almost being drawn to it like moths for a second. But you see as you notice as a blue spirit begins to slowly form over towards you as if you're almost on Voden right here and now. For to grab you, and you are inspired as you receive a chat inspiration. But regardless, turn is now.
I'm going to assume that, yeah, I'm just gonna play like I wouldn't be able to do anything with that. So I'm gonna just punch him again in the face. No, wait. What am I doing?
Bro, you sure this is the corruption?
I have a sword. What am I doing?
Ma'am, are you?
I'm going to take out my sword and bonus action ignite it, and then I'm going to stab the person who took my money first, or gave him money, and then turn into the lovely person.
This guy right here.
Okay, I have to move and we have to hug.
Yeah, it's acting weird. Yeah, you're just gonna have to hug him or whatever. Ooh! A natural one. You do got inspiration from earlier if you want to use it. Might as well.
You hate to see it.
Did I just do it again, or does that
just do it.
add? Okay.
Yeah, you just do it again.
Woo!
Wow.
It's not looking too good. As you swing with your 11, you see as the individual begins to almost grab actually the legs of the blade, more so the flat end of it as they're holding it for a moment. They begin to almost grab it, and you see as the blood begins to trickle up amongst their hand as they just begin to hiss directly at you. As they do so, flashes, almost flashbacks of Voden begin to start piercing into your mind. You see the sands again. You see the likes of the kindred spirits in the village all before you as it's flashing and assaulting your mind. Ova, that is your action and bonus action. Anything for your turn?
Just gonna whoop around him, staying within 5.
That means this guy over here is going to get an attack of opportunity. You still want to do it?
Yep.
All right. He will 100% try to do so, and in fact, he's going to actually try to grapple you rather than hitting you with an attack. So make an athletics or acrobatics check as he tries to grab and restrain you for a moment.
Get away
Gotta
from
be the
me.
13. 24, nice. You're just able to push him off to the side, almost sending him flying back into those crates as you're able to reposition for a moment. But now the assault is towards you as the red corruption are going to take their turn. First things first, they're going to reach out, and you see as more and more the thunders beginning to form up and around, blocking and sort of muffling all the bits of sounds of the fighting and warfare. They're going to make, how many attacks do they do? They do 2 attacks, these guys. So that's going to be 2 fiery touch attacks as they're going to try to burn and incinerate your armor. First one, all right, I'm going to move him a little closer because he's got to hug you, remember. 24 to hit, that's 5 points of damage. Second attack, it's going to be a 10, that will miss. As they try to reach over, the first one's able to start igniting your arm. The second one is getting ready to almost burn your hair for a moment as you're able to sort of push them off to the side. That is the first guy's go. Next one, he's going to reach over and try to do the same thing, almost trying to grab you by your legs and almost throw you onto the ground prone and immediately just start burning you alive with burning hands. 18, that will hit for 7 points of damage, but you're able to kick him a little bit backwards. He's going to make his second attack and just start sending almost a minor firebolt directly towards you. Fiery touch, 12, it's not going to hit. Ilva, describe how you're able to dodge or defend yourself from this firebolt almost getting seared towards you.
I'm just trying to pull away from. Obviously, I know what they're about. Whatever. I don't want to get too close to them. Whatever. So with every when I dodge the second attack, I miss the first one, but then I know that they're lining up for a second one. So I just go ahead and just anticipate the second attack being thrown at me, and I just like a duck underneath it.
Easy enough, as you do. Next one, this one's going to actually try to surround you as well as they're all gathering forth. It is just almost like a pack of wolves sicking upon their prey. They're gonna make 2 attack rolls over at you, buddy. First one, 21 to hit, 12 points of damage. Second one, 24, another 12 points of damage as they begin to start burning, ripping and tearing at you by the seams for a moment. It's not looking good, but there's nowhere to really run. All three of them around here. And with that, you look around, and Ilva, what is sort of going on through your mind at the moment while this is all playing out?
It's a combination of, I know I have to get away. I feel like I can't really cast anything, and I'm waiting for this sensation of being pulled to either happen now or sometime. So I'm just gonna try and see if I can buy any time by just kind of playing tag, if you will. Just trying to see if this thing goes off for the nick of time or not.
Oh boy. As you begin to do so, you look around, and before your turn starts, you do see as one thing does begin to occur. Oh, sorry. Also, real quick. Oh, okay. We'll grab that. There we go. Should fix it. We're missing somebody. What happened? Oh, Pete, turn the camera off for a second. Gotcha. Okay. While this is sort of happening, Ilva, you do receive your initiative, but you look over and you sort of see as the stars are beginning to start forming around in this small little alleyway. As they're doing so, they're clinging towards the likes of a couple of the buildings for a moment, and then they're now clinging towards you. Choice is yours on what you try to do now. But you also hear as there is footsteps approaching from somewhere. Only a set of one pair of footsteps, but what would you like to do?
So I hear the footsteps, and then what was the other thing? The
stars are sort of clinging everywhere right now.
stars are clinging. Gotcha. I guess I'm just gonna try and. I don't want to run to the person. Screw it. I'll start running towards the footsteps.
You got it. Are you? What are you trying to do to be able to get away from them? Are you disengaging? What are you doing?
Yeah,
here?
I have to disengage. Three attacks, a little brutal.
Sure thing. You disengage, and as you do, you rush over, and you walk over here. Like I imagine, like this little general area, because that's where it's sort of coming from.
Yeah.
And as you're getting ready to sort of cut over towards it and cut the corner, you just run straight into an individual. And you, my friend, begin to hear, well, this.
Are you going somewhere?
And you look over. Now, again, as I've always sort of said this, when it comes to these guys, I don't have the full art for them just yet, so we're just using placeholder stuff, right? But you look over and you see a hooded individual, and you notice as they wield, or they have 4 arms of the sorts, astral in nature. And you look over, and their mask is almost completely made of an eclipse itself. And you see as they have a strange astral firearm. The only thing that you see is the barrel of it as it's aimed towards you. And you see, again, make shift for this, you see an equivalent individual masked and more almost similar to the likes of Krufix for a moment. What do you say, Ilva?
You got the wrong guy.
They look over.
I'm just like, I guess I disengage from the guys. I start making my way to the footsteps. This hooded figure, muddle of breath, fuck, and just kind of just smirking, I guess, and just realizing that I'm in a bad predicament. I'm kind of stuck. So I guess we're just
Oh,
gonna
don't worry.
set
Don't
free.
worry, buddy. I gotcha. They'll answer for you. I gotcha, buddy. They're gonna shoot you in the arch. They're gonna shoot you directly in the leg. And they're, as they do, well, it's time for the funny.
Oh,
Misses.
miss.
As
Beats
they
it,
do,
beats it.
you see as Ilva, your entire leg is completely blown off as it begins to get sent flying off to the side and immediately dematerializes into an astral stardust for a moment. You immediately drop down onto the ground for a moment in time as you see the individual begins to say,
Seems to be that the souls are getting stronger. Very well.
cocks the gun. Instead of hitting you with only one, he's gonna hit you with a second one and make sure your soul is completely severed.
He's so nice.
I would just give him the bird.
As you do, you flick him off, giving him the bird for a moment. He shoots your fucking hand off. As he does so, he looks over and says,
I'll see you during the cataclysm.
and he is going to action surge, and within the night, muffled by the sort of thunderstorm, multiple bangs, multiple sort of crashes, almost the sound of just explosions for a moment, all muffled by the thunder. Before Ilva, you are nothing but an astral heap and gone. Nothing remains of your body, your arms, your legs, your hands, all of it disintegrated for a moment. The individual begins to speak and say,
Oh man. If only they had an echo hunter and such to make this a little bit more interesting. Very well. We'll make our own fun. Come now. We have work to do.
you'll see as the corruption begins to start clicking for a moment, their heads will begin to start breaking, shattering. Arms will begin to start almost deconstructing themselves before eventually they all fade with an astral light. As they do so, so does the masked individual. And you look around towards the entire scene and nothing of it. The bits of the sort of stones and more, the bits of fire, the seers, it's all gone. Nothing but a simple bit of starlights left. However, as this is sort of happening and occurring, more footsteps begin to emerge, approaching over. You see as two individuals begin to arrive first, sort of trying to scout out the scene. And as they do, they motion forth that they don't necessarily notice anything. And right behind them, two more individuals surrounded by multiple Crown's Guard, if you will. But Matt, if you could please describe exactly who these individuals are as these individuals begin to arrive.
Sorry.
So, two individuals arrive at this moment. One of them is a Goliath that is wearing an executioner's cowl and is peering out at the scene. And then slowly, gradually behind him is a shorter, scrawnier individual. Somebody who is stepping forward with a cane in their hand. They are swaying a little bit as they step forward, indicating that their body has been ravaged in some way, shape, or form. And underneath this green cowl and cloak, they have this distinctive mask, which seems to hide some sort of malformity underneath it. And as the individuals step forward, the scrawny one, the one in the green cloak, looks about and says, Lieutenant, it appears we are late. I don't like being late. Can someone please explain to me where this person ended up? Where are they? One of the Crown's Guard is going to turn around to the individual and say, Superior Malum, we got hint that the individual had run into this alleyway, and that we well, yes, go on. Well, there was commotion of fighting. Some of the locals. Okay, I've heard enough. Thank you. You mean to tell me that the individual that has given up the entire situation with the caravan, someone of whom I have no idea who is, managed to mysteriously vanish in an alleyway? Search the place. See if this individual can be brought up again. Very rare I don't know who someone is, but somebody clearly higher up is keeping this information from me. Sigorn, it seems that one of the birds has flown the coop. No matter. There are still some other birds in the aviary. Perhaps Pendragon, Zug, and Orgoth could enlighten me. Oh, not to mention that newcomer with his name, James. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, no matter what it takes. The things that were in that caravan, there will be a reckoning.
And as this is said, the scene begins to slowly fade for a moment as the Crown's Guard begin to scour this sort of alleyway as much as they possibly can for any clues on where this individual had gone. As they do. Meanwhile, back on Voden, where our story continues to take place. We look over, and I'd imagine it'd probably be Creelan or Zale. It could be both, either or. Creelan, is he sort of? I don't know if Showcase is here, but is Creelan sort of just scouting out the area UAV style like usual?
After my kata, that would probably be the next thing I do, since that's just part of my rotation of things to do.
Sure thing. Hey, Showcase or Creelan, can you make a perception check for me then? Do it with advantage because you're always you have a higher ground and elevation and such.
Such.
I did disadvantage, but it's all good. It's gonna be 25. You look over, and as you're soaring about, you do notice as you're marking on your hand, the black star begins to start writhing in shadow for a moment. But look over towards it, and as you look down at it, something catches your eye. You see something that you haven't necessarily seen in a long time. The last time you saw this was, I believe, when the campaign started. You see a statue of the sorts, of an astral sort of prison. An astral statue of some sort of humanoid individual. And you see it all the way on the opposite side of the village over here. That wasn't there beforehand. You've done your rounds and such, and now it emerged. Last time something of that nature happened, well, a person emerged from it, but you're not entirely sure who or what is the meaning of this at this moment in time. Creelan, what would you find yourself doing, noticing that statue from afar? Also, here, let me give you a little light thing. You're about, I imagine, like 90 feet up in the air.
I want to like do maybe 3 small circles just to see if there's any motion between the statue or the surrounding area, and if I don't see anything move, and I'll fly a bit closer.
Easy enough. As you do, you continue on. You fly a little bit closer, kind of flying over the likes of Navro and Serious Training. Eventually you fly over and you can see as Misery and Phoebe are going about constructing this shrine and statue. You look over and the statue is, or excuse me, the shrine, or more so the astral statue rather, seems to be right about here. I'll mark it over here. It's not super big, it's more so relatively small, but this is a general area where you would see it. It said, do you approach it?
I did not see it ping. Was it
Oh,
over here?
Gotcha. Right over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay 90 feet high. Approach it. Do basically a triangle flight around it. And if still looking down, I'll probably stop about here. Look over the ledge. Look around. Hobble down the steps the way birds walk down steps. And then go up to the statue.
As you do so, the black star upon your hand, it's beginning to start almost spiraling out of control for a moment. It almost engulfs you in the shadows for a second as it's reacting the closer and closer you get to this statue. Looking at it, it's humanoid of the sorts, but you're not really able to make out any sort of recognizable features of it. Their build, and you can use your sort of bounty hunter sort of feature for this, but looking at them, they're definitely armed. They have some sort of armor, a sword of the sorts, but maybe longer hair. Race, it's pretty difficult to kind of tell due to the nature of the crystalline prison. What do you do?
See me reach back, pull out my trident, shake my head, put the trident back, reach over with the other arm, grab the monster flaying spear, because this might be a hidden monster, and I will spin it around, put the pointy end towards the statue, take 5-foot step, take a 5-foot step, and then until I've reached the statue, I'm just going to tap the spear on it.
You sort of tap it. Solid. Nothing. The closer you get, more your marks begins to act up. It's almost as if it's being drawn to it.
Put the spear back on my back and ball both my fists. And on my non-marked hand, I'm just going to give it a quick jab. To the
Hurts,
statue.
but yeah, you're fine. Seems to be that it begins to start reacting for a moment, but nothing. At this point, you've realized that it's calling for the star upon your hand. It wishes for you to place it upon it. Similar to like before, to free whatever is stuck in this thing. However you want to handle those precautions is up to you, but that's what it's requesting. That's what it's seeking.
So we can handle it, right? Now look around. Do I see anyone near me, or is this me and the statue, right?
A couple of maybe the NPCs are sort of gathered around, just sort of conversing. Misery and Phoebe aren't too far away. They'd be able to hear. If anything went down, they'd be able to hear it for sure.
My back. Right. I will crack my knuckles and slowly reach out my marked hand. When I'm just half a centimeter away from tapping it, take a deep breath and push the statue with it.
And as you do, you're going to slowly press. And as you do so, you notice as all the bits of the astral light amongst it begins to slowly just almost melt for a moment, and it seeps, turning into that of a liquid and then eventually a fog. as the black star begins to absorb it, eventually until there's nothing left. Nothing but the likes of you, Ilva, as you awaken. The first thing you see as you find yourself on the ground once more, you look up and bring you with the likes of the black star. Freeland looks down upon you, Ilva. Find yourself in the village somewhere, but you're back.
I'm alive.
Alive is
Oh my-
a strange word nowadays, because you found or you saw yourself die before your very eyes. That whole scene, but yet here you are.
And I have a bird over top of me.
You have a bird over top of you.
It's just like the first time.
Do I recognize it as Creelan? Just for
Yeah, you do know it's Creelan. You're very, yeah. It's almost as if like, oh man, it's almost as if like the Siglasia thing was a bad dream, but you know it's real because you look over at your sort of form and everything is changed and different. So it was real, but that's kind of the sensation that you feel right now.
What does my hand look like after the bird?
Your hand, well, it seems to be that white circle with a smaller circle inside, and two fins are now upon it. It is not acting, it is not lighting up anymore. It seems to have stabilized. As...
Do I look fleshy?
Oh no, you're like, your legs, your hands, your arms, they're back. They're back.
Okay. I thought it was like transparent there for a second.
Nah, you gotta leave that for Navro.
Oh, Lord. Ilva, that's you, yes?
Oh, maybe.
Okay. I take a step forward and I attempt to grapple the unknown enemy.
All right, some things just never change. Even 2 years later. You see his
Creelan, what are you doing?
Okay. The enemy wouldn't say that, but I'm on to you.
Creelan, it's me. I don't know. I didn't expect to be in the dirt here, but it's me. I also didn't expect. Did I know I was in Case Nice?
No. So I guess to explain that experience, you were literally dead. You were suspended in an astral sort of void and such, just hanging out. Nothing, just alone with your thoughts for what felt like months, but bam, you're here, all within seconds.
Don't trust her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her.
Also,
Creelan,
by the
you're
way,
choking me.
4-minute warning, y'all.
Release any grip and rate. I'm really going to test if this is over. I'll put out my outstretched hand with the mark on it to help her up.
I'll use my left hand and just swat at his hand and go, "You dickhead, it's still me."
Well, that brings some confidence. What happened to you? And I fully do help over up.
Well, I tried something, and I think it worked, but I don't. I was expecting to wake up in bed and have you over top of me, so, or had you over top of me, so I don't know. I don't think it went fully to plan. It's just trying to put pieces together right now. It's like you wake up from a dream. I'm sure it'll come fully to me. Yeah.
Do you feel well? Healthy?
I feel hungry, but
So-
that's. I mean, I think so. Just kind of like moving my joints and my muscles. Do little hops.
Okay. I'll look at my marked hand and look it over, and either this grants me the power of life and death or the power of hunger. You may need to test it more. But it was drawn to it, and with a simple tap, you came here from wherever you were.
Sorry, what was wrong to me?
My mark here, and it's no longer smoky or anything. It's just plain mark at this moment.
Yep, plain mark.
I seen you, and it emanated smoke, and I flew to it. I thought to stab it, but then I didn't, and then I just tapped it with the mark, and you came back hungry.
You tapped what? Sorry.
You were a statue of astral being. There was a form in there, and it didn't look too terrible, and I tapped it to see what it was so I can let it out to have others, and I'll tilt my head over to Phoebe and the rest of the gang, come over and dispatch of it, but it was you.
Was it like when we first awoke?
It looks like that, but it just looked darker.
Darker. Huh. Yeah, because I have a lot of questions now. Because I did something in my room, and if I came back in this, well, similar, I guess, the way when we first came here, then I'm sure I was partially, maybe successful. I had to have been, though I can't. I don't know why. Well, maybe I don't know why I came back as a crystal, but let me think on it. Let me try and put the pieces of this dream together.
Absolutely. But you look well. If you give me a moment, I'm going to attempt to make some poisons in one potion.
Yeah, you do you.
I will have you try that out and ensure that you're well.
Cool. Cool.
And with that, Kriglin, you begin to start trying to make some poisons and potions and such. Ova, you sort of looking around, trying to it's almost as if like you're trying to regain feeling and such through, well, just your arms and legs after having them blown completely off. But seems normal and okay. And you look out towards the rest of the village, and you see as everyone's sort of gathering forth, readying themselves for the next journey. All of them prepared and ready to go? Then hey, one journey to the next. About that time. With that, my friends, we are at time for the session, so that is where we will end it now, and we will pick back up as we head to Water World next week.
Lucy.
I like how you tried to do it. It just didn't even pick up. It's just like, oh man, good stuff.
job.
Good stuff, everybody. I'm gonna go break down stream and all that, and then I'm gonna come back and then I'll answer any questions that you might have, and we'll get going from there. I'll be back in like 2 minutes at most. All right. Boop, boop, and bam. So, thank you everybody for everyone who was able to tune in today. You guys are awesome as usual. Be sure to follow the stream. Hey, if you enjoyed it, we actually were able to hit the follow goal and smash that thing completely in half. So thank you so much for all the followers and more. Thank you for all the subs and the bits. You guys are freaking awesome as well. And while you're at it, hey, go check out the YouTube video over, as we're live over on YouTube as well. So hey, go check that out, and go drop a like over on the video on that, and as it does help us out and support us tremendously, more so than anything. So yes, I guess further announcements. One, we're going to be live again for the final stream of the week, or more so the final stream of Soulbound, and as we're continuing on with the campaigns. And that's going to be Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, as we have Valley of Dreams, which is the Monday campaign, and sort of like a more so ancient China, Japanese sort of style aesthetic over there in Jaded Dragon Valley. Awesome campaign, so be sure to go tune into that. That's again at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Other things, if you, like I mentioned before, if you were looking to be in the West Marches, please be sure to check your DMs, as I did send a bunch of DMs out to other people and all that. So make sure you are able to look into that and you're not accidentally missing something. Besides that, for those of you guys who don't know who the heck I am or what this whole channel is all about, my name is Sensei Suplex. I'm a professional dungeon master, and I basically run a giant living universe known as Project Aurora. Essentially, it's an MMORPG experience where me and a bunch of other dungeon masters, we all run our games in the same living, breathing world in real time. For example, Chaotic and Rider, if you saw that scene with Enforcer Sigorn and Inquisitor Malum, those are NPCs from another campaign that he runs, The Righteous Sacrifice, and he runs that every Thursday and more. We have about 20 DMs or so, and about, I want to say, we're getting close to about 130 or 120 players, somewhere around there, that are all playing in real time and play almost every other day and more. So if you're interested in that, be sure to join the Discord. We'd love to have you. We're actually looking for all that stuff. All you got to do if you want to sign up for the West Marches, it is obviously a paid experience, as we have to pay for staff and all that stuff. So if you want to support Aurora, if you want to get into a game, you can look into that. Just make sure that, hey, one thing is that one, make sure you're 18 up, because obviously you have rules for that. And then two, a couple other things about the living universe that I forgot to mention is that we also have multiple ways where we can get involved with the likes of world building. So even if you don't necessarily want to be a player, you can easily sort of interact and affect the sessions in real time by using channel points to give out inspiration points, channel points to actually change the weather in the middle of the game, or channel points to even create gods as well, and introduce sort of wacky and chaotic things. Also, we also get the chat involved with world building, as we do a lot of polls and really just focus on chat interaction and engagement. So it's not where it's like, oh, okay, you have to watch the games, and if you're not in the game, you get screwed. Or you can still find a way to leave your mark on the universe, because that's what we're all about. So hey, if you want to be a part of that, by all means join, and I will see you there. All right, y'all. I will talk to you guys later. I gotta get going. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. I'm gonna let the starting soon screen go off, and then I'm raid into somebody. Peace.